Cooperstown, New York. Today, one of the great days on the baseball calendar. The speeches, the memories, the inductions into baseball's Hall of Fame. A D-backs logo on the plaque of new Hall of Famer Randy Johnson. Watching here at Chase Field, these new D-backs look to close a homestand by taking 3 of 4 from the Brewers. It's Arizona Diamondbacks baseball, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. And good afternoon from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume, Bob Brenly along the way. And congratulations to our occasional broadcast partner and your former colleague, of course, Randy Johnson, on his great day at Cooperstown. It's the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, the series and homestand finale. And speaking of great pitching, Bob, the Diamondbacks looking for more from Jeremy Hellickson. Outstanding in his last start against the Marlins.
Yeah, really good against the Marlins last time out. Unfortunately, was hooked up against Matt Latos, who pitched a gem against him, but really very little damage in that ball game. A couple of 2-out base hits that scored a run. Solo homer by Mike Morris. Other than that, he was absolutely in command of that ball game.
It's Hellickson and Matt Garza, the pitching matchup here today. And if Jeremy is to finish the anchor leg of this relay, we should be in for more good starting pitching today. The Diamondbacks, through this turn in the rotation, have been outstanding.
Yeah, we say good hitting is contagious, and recently for the Diamondbacks, good pitching has been contagious, starting with Zach Godley, followed by Patrick Corbin, Ruby De La Rosa last night. Hopefully Jeremy Hellickson next in line.
Well, chance to finish this homestand by taking 3 of 4 from Milwaukee. Then it's off on the road. Well, Honor America, the national anthem, is coming up. Then it's first pitch, the Brewers and the Diamondbacks from Chase Field on Fox Sports Arizona. Hernandez in the dugout in from the bullpen, and we are nearly set to take the field here for the series and homestand finale It's the Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers. A chance today to take 3 of 4 from Milwaukee before the D-backs head out on a long road trip after this one. We're on an airplane right after the ball game off to Seattle, then Houston and Washington, D.C. So a long haul ahead for the boys in Sedona Red, but trying to close out this homestand on a winning note and get back pointed toward 500. And we've had excellent starting pitching from the Diamondbacks so far in this series. And Jeremy Hellickson looks to continue that here this afternoon on what was, Bob, a very unique afternoon, watching Randy Johnson's Hall of Fame speech live on the DBTV board here from Cooperstown. And it ended, boy, it timed right out perfectly about 5 minutes before the top of the hour here.
You know, we see a lot of things at the ballpark, but I've never seen that before. Watching an induction ceremony with a first representative from your organization, and the fans here at the ballpark were into it. The people that were fortunate enough to be in Cooperstown seemed to really enjoy themselves. And obviously, as you said in the open of the show, we're all ecstatic for Randy and the organization. What a great day.
And Randy, in his speech, of course, thanked Jerry Colangelo. We thank Diamondbacks owner Ken Kendrick, president and CEO Derek Hall. A great day for Diamondback fans all over the world as our Subway Kids Take the Field promotion is underway. The Diamondbacks in their Sunday Sedona Red, ready for the game against the Milwaukee Brewers. But first, we pause to honor America. It's the voice of Chase Field, Mr. Chuck Drago.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove your hats. Please direct your attention to the field as we honor the United States of America and pay tribute to our veterans, active duty, and retired men and women of our armed services. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers invite you to join in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, performed by the Scottsdale Chorus.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through
are great, but in 2001 we had a team that in spring training we were all on the same page and we never deviated or wavered from that, and it led us to the World Series against the greatest team of all time, the New York Yankees. Those are some very memorable moments there in Arizona. I'm so grateful for everybody that I played with and the franchise.
Well, the Diamondbacks center stage in Cooperstown, New York today. That's where Randy's number 51 will go up in the rafters August 8th here at Chase Field. The first D-back goes into the Hall of Fame today. Randy Johnson taking his place in baseball's National Museum. And here home in Arizona, these D-backs closing out a 10-game homestand looking for a win over the Milwaukee Brewers. Your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the D-backs is Jeremy Hellickson. Concerns about a blister on his right thumb quickly forgotten after he pitched very well in his previous start last Tuesday against the Marlins. His manager is Chip Hale.
Working down the zone and hitting his spots with his fastball. I think his only mistakes have been fastball mistakes that the other team has capitalized on. But when he's throwing his breaking ball and changeup and then keeping the ball down in the zone, he's had a lot of success.
Arnold Parra, the former D-back, leads it off for Milwaukee. Mark Ripperger is our plate umpire, and we're underway with strike one. The numbers on Jeremy, he lost 3 of his 4 starts with the Diamondbacks in April, but he's been solid all summer. He's given up more than 3 earned runs only twice in his last 11 starts, and he's ahead of Parra 0-2.
And dealing here at his home ballpark, 4-1 in 5 starts here at Chase Field with an ERA of 2.76. Kind of unusual for a fly ball pitcher to have that kind of success in this ballpark, but you heard his manager talking about it. When he keeps that ball down, he can be effective in any ballpark.
Parra is 6th in the National League with that .317 batting average. He's got 9 home runs.
Now that blister issue, we were a little concerned about it going into that start against the Marlins, but he threw 102 pitches in his 7 innings of work. No problems whatsoever. We thought that was going to be an issue. Jeremy, if he was feeling it, he sure didn't show it.
This is away, as Chip Hale mentioned. The only mistakes he's made, occasional fastball mistakes, both the curveball and the changeup, have been outstanding. The numbers in a tough luck loss to the Marlins here last week. 2 earned runs on 5 hits and 7, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. He did not go, says Alan Porter at third. Over his last 6 starts, Jeremy has had 37 strikeouts and walked only 4. So the command has been very good.
It's funny about that fastball command. I agree with you. Jeremy has been really throwing the ball well. It just seems like when he does make a mistake, it doesn't get missed. Michael Morse got a fastball up and out over the plate, hit it to the opposite field for a solo homer.
He's given up 14 home runs in his 18 starts. He's gone full on Parra 3-2. Arnold Parra 3 hits in the series, all singles. Jonathan Lucroy at first base this afternoon is on deck. Take a look at the lineup for Craig Counsell's Milwaukee Brewers. A late change. Gene Segura was supposed to be in there at shortstop, but he's got a sore throat.
Former D-back Gerardo Parra at the top. He'll be out in center field. Jonathan Lucroy, normally the catcher, moves out to first base. Ryan Braun in right field. Chris Davis in left. Scooter Gennett at second base with Hernan Perez at third base. Hector Gomez at short. Martin Maldonado doing the catching for right-hander Matt Garza.
Well, Hellickson was ahead 0-2 on Parra and issues a leadoff walk. Take a look at the Diamondbacks around Jeremy Hellickson, our mid-first bank starting defense.
Enter Inciarte in left field today. A.J. Pollock out in center with Yasmani Tomas back in the lineup in right field. It'll be Jake Lamb and Nick Ahmed on the left side of the infield. Aaron Hill at second base today. Paul Goldschmidt over at first. Oscar Hernandez doing the catching, and right-hander Jeremy Hellickson on the mound.
Parra aboard. Here's Lucroy. Just his third start of the season at first base. He played 19 games there last year, so it's not totally alien territory for him. And he looks at ball one. Lucroy 248 and 3 homers. Let's go D-backs. Oh, that's nice. How about that smile?
Beacon over the sign. Well, she'll have even more to smile about if Jeremy can get a ground ball off the bat of Jonathan Lucroy. He's grounded into 13 double plays this year. Only Ryan Braun has more on this Brewers team with 14.
Lucroy has 4 hits in the series, all singles. Ellickson behind 2-0 after losing Parra. And through 10 pitches so far, more balls than strikes. Two and one. Big crowd from the looks of it at Cooperstown today. Fox Sports Arizona crew, Todd Walsh and company are there. Pedro Martinez giving his speech right now. Greg Biggio, then John Smoltz, Randy Johnson third, and Pedro is entertaining the crowd as the closer here. 2-1 to Lucroy. Parra holds it first. There's a little flare out to left center. And Inciarte's got it, 1 down.
Yeah, the timing of the induction ceremonies couldn't have been more perfect. As you said, John Smoltz went a little bit long with his speech. It looked like it was going to run into game time, but fortunately he stopped quickly enough that Randy was able to get up there and do his speech before the ball game started, and everybody here at the ballpark got to enjoy it.
Smoltz thanked everyone except his dentist. And a wig too. He had props. Ryan Braun, 268, 18 home run.
Some payback to Maddox and Glavine. They got on him pretty good in their speeches.
Yeah, he had about 6 months to think about that. How am I going to get those guys back? Now they're all in there.
And he made it a point not to say anything bad about Chipper Jones, because certainly Chipper will go in someday soon.
Chipper says enough bad things about himself on his Twitter account, which Smoltz pointed out in his speech, which was kind of funny.
Well, that has to be so hard. I mean, every player, you've got so many people who influenced your career in positive ways, made you the player and the man that you are, and that you, the guy that's being inducted into Cooperstown, you're the byproduct of so many influences, and to whittle it down and make sure you don't miss anybody, you got to lump guys in groups. All the clubhouse attendants around baseball. It's funny, every guy said they're the heartbeat of the game, those guys that work so hard down in that clubhouse for no credit.
You got a bunch of those guys right here. Jimmy Garrett, Lupe Uribe, all those guys. 1-0 to Braun. A base hit to left. 2 on and 1 out for Chris Davis.
Not to mention controlling your emotions. I mean, I'm watching these guys. I knew all 4 of those guys, so I've watched their careers and managed Randy, and you know, I get a little choked up just thinking of the emotions that they're feeling up there. That's why I didn't play well enough to make the Hall of Fame.
That was it, huh?
I'd have never got through the speech.
Well, you're just looking ahead, that's all. Chris Davis now.
I was one of the guys that helped put those guys in the Hall of Fame.
Well, you were the narrator of sorts at Randy's, what do you call it? I guess introduction video. They have an introductory video for every player, and you were the voice of Randy's and did a brilliant job. It was a really well done piece.
No, thank you very much. I mean, we sat downstairs for about a half an hour one day a couple of weeks ago and just talked about everything that happened in Randy's career here in Arizona, including that 2001 World Series run.
Ellickson in a jam here. 2 on 1 out. There's strike 1 to Davis out of Deer Valley High School.
And we scooped Cooperstown. I mean, we had Randy's Wounded Warrior friends on our show last week.
Yeah, we did. They were both there. They were both wearing the old school Diamondback throwbacks, and Randy introduced them both, and they got a standing ovation from the crowd there.
We had them first.
We broke that story. Randy mentioned all the great work he's done with the USO since his playing days ended, and he continues to do so.
7 trips overseas in the last 6 years on behalf of the USO.
He's very dedicated, for sure. 1-1 to Davis. Parra is the runner at second, Braun at first. I thought it was interesting that John Smoltz, and he mentioned this in his speech, kind of closed it with a cautionary tale for parents and kids, that he's the first pitcher that had Tommy John surgery to go into the Hall of Fame. There'll be many more, but as he said, hopefully not that many more. We got to have kids take time off from baseball, not throw year round, not be max effort, high energy all the time. Play basketball, play other sports.
Great advice. And what I took away from it as well, he said, for these kids, every pitch they throw is in competition.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You just don't go out in the backyard and play catch with your neighbor, like kids used to do more regularly. And he felt that was probably part of the reason we're seeing such a spike in Tommy John surgeries. These kids pitching competitively and not throwing at all otherwise.
All the youth leagues and travel teams, I mean, they're great, but you have 14, 15-year-old kids playing almost year round, and then they need Tommy John surgery and they're 22 and you wonder why. Another 1-2 pitch to Chris Davis. Got him. Big out number 2 for Hellickson, his first strikeout.
Good curveball here in the early going. That one on the outer third. Great drop straight down. That's the old 12-6 curveball we hear so much about. And when Jeremy's on top of that pitch, it can be a real weapon for him.
So 2 down now for Scooter Gennett. One more man for Hellickson to get here. That's ball 1. Gennett, 258 and 4 home runs. 1 for 9 in the series so far. Oscar Hernandez will get out there and set the defense. Got Nick Ahmed, who keeps sneaking in there behind Parra at second base.
Well, we've seen Scooter Gennett swing through changeups every ball game he's been in this series. He is an aggressive fastball swinger, and if you can throw a good straight changeup, you can get a lot of swings and misses from him.
Gennett has always been very aggressive up there. Kind of a lot like Chris Owings that way. And they've tried to get him to know where the outside corner is. Something that Craig Counsell's been all over him about. Learn the strike zone. Ahmed kind of shadowing Parra behind him. He'll sneak in there and then back off just as Hellickson starts his delivery. 1-1 pitch. It's in the seats, a ball and 2 strikes.
Those sneaky middle infielders, they'll put themselves where you can see them just barely out of your peripheral vision. I think that's what Nick's trying to do. Slide up on the left side of Gerardo Parra far enough that Parra sees him out of the corner of his eye and then back off as the pitch is being delivered into a better defensive position.
Yeah, Parra will take a step toward third, and Nick will kind of shadow it, a step back toward second, and Nick will shadow it. They're kind of joking about that right now, it looks like.
Occasionally that shortstop will step up on the right side of the base runner and pat his glove and then sneak around to the left side and pat his glove over there.
He gets Jeanette to chase another one. Oscar will complete the strikeout. Second in the inning for Jeremy Hellickson, who strands 2. And we are just underway from downtown Phoenix. First cracks at your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Brew Crew. It's Matt Garza, the 31-year-old right-hander. He's won just 3 times in the last 3 months. Here's Aaron Hill.
He's been a very successful pitcher in his career. Good fastball, locates really well with a good slider and occasional curveball. And we've seen pitchers change up their approach on us a little bit just with our aggressiveness at the plate, and so we just gotta have our hitters meeting and have a nice approach. All the guys feel good about going up there, and now it's just executing.
Garza a win in his previous start, 6 scoreless over Cleveland last Tuesday, but his ERA is the highest it's been since his rookie season, and he's giving up about 11 hits for every 9 innings pitched.
And another big difference between Matt Garza and Jeremy Hellickson. Once Jeremy Hellickson lets the ball go, he becomes a 5th infielder. When Matt Garza lets the ball go, he becomes a designated hitter out there on the mound.
He's
brutal
not a good
defender,
fielder, huh?
Brutal defender. Can't handle bunts, has trouble with pickoff throws, doesn't field his position well. See if the Diamondbacks try to take advantage of that today.
Ender Inciarte leads it off. And a bunt for a base hit here. He rolls it up the line, and Ender beats it out. Just a gorgeous bunt. It stayed up on that grass, and Garza had no play. Well, they put him to the test right away there, BB.
I like it. I like it. Diamondbacks #1 in the National League in bunt hits. Ender Inciarte, every appearance that he was going to swing away at that pitch, didn't show bunt until the last instant. And I don't even know if Jeremy Hellickson could have made the play on that ball. That's a perfect bunt.
He was on the bag by the time Garza even picked it up. Just checked up on that grass and stayed fair. So the leadoff man on for Aaron Hill. Aaron getting the start at second base this afternoon. 221 and 4 home runs. There goes Inciarte. He got a tremendous jump. And Hill flies out. Ender's going to have to hustle back to the bag. Boy, he had that thing stolen cold. And would have easily have gotten into third at least had the ball landed safely, but Braun was there.
Really good jumpers, leaning a little bit towards second base and then went ahead and committed to running. Fortunately able to pick up that ball in right field and hustle back to first base, avoiding that double play.
1 on, 1 out for Goldie now, leading the National League in batting average and RBIs. He also leads the major leagues in walks, and he's already walked 5 times in this series, twice intentionally. Gomez at short, and Scooter Gennett turns it. So Goldie hits into a double play. We are through 1, no score here at Chase Field. With Disabilities Act. It's great to see fans with disabilities celebrating with baseball today. And this gentleman right here, we had the honor of privilege of meeting him before the ball game. That's Greg Smith and his son Donovan. Greg has organized really an awareness movement among baseball fans with disabilities, fans who really love the game and who love attending games. And they have helped raise awareness with cooperation from Major League Baseball to increase access to the ballpark. And through the ADA, Greg and Donovan have really done a tremendous job. And this is the 25th anniversary, July 26, 1990, by then President George H.W. Bush. The ADA signed into law, and Greg Smith has really done a tremendous job in galvanizing baseball fans with disabilities to get them on everybody's radar here. And Chase Field is really one of the jewels, Bob, among baseball ballparks in terms of its accessibility for the handicapped and folks with disabilities. No question about it. And we really put Greg, we gave him a task today. He's sitting right down there close to the Brewers on deck circle. So we said, hey, when those guys come out there, give them a hard time. He's going to be our 10th man today. So there he is. He's right in the front row. He and Donovan letting them have it. Greg is a great baseball fan. He designed that T-shirt that he's wearing, honoring the 25th anniversary of the ADA with the red, white, and blue colors. There is a little check swing. He'll stay alive. 0-2 now. And of course, the ADA, it makes sure that all the accessibility requirements on public accommodations like ballparks are up to snuff. And we have a lot of disabled fans here with us every ball game, and this is a very good ballpark. It's really well designed for that. 0-2 to Hernan Perez. A little tapper to shortstop. Ahmed will charge it. Double clutch, and he just does get it at first. That's a rarity to see Nick Ahmed double clutch. Normally he makes that exchange on that play where he has to charge as flawlessly as anybody in the game, but that time lost the handle momentarily. Still has enough arm to fire it over there in time to get Perez. So 1 out for Hector Gomez. 192 and a homer. He was a late addition to the starting lineup. Gene Segura was originally in there at shortstop, but Segura, who is the subject of a lot of trade speculation right now, the deadline is coming up on Friday. He was a late scratch, and everyone kind of went, interesting. And the Brewers say he's got a sore throat. So Gomez was put in there at shortstop.
It's that time of year. Everybody overreacts to every lineup change. A day game after a night game. Segura's a guy that plays pretty much every day anyway. It's not unusual for him to take a day off, whether he's got a sore throat or not. But because we're sneaking up on that trade deadline, and Segura is a guy who is right in the middle of the headlines, a lot of speculation here at the ballpark.
We saw Gomez get a start at second base earlier in this series for Craig Counsell. Now he's in there at shortstop. And ahead 2-0. There's the strike. Well, Jeremy Hellickson got in trouble early there in the first, but had that changeup and curveball working. Got 2 big strikeouts to strand 2. He punched out Davis and Jeanette. Right back at you. The Gold Glover's got it. 2 down.
There's that 5th infielder. So many pitchers don't take advantage. I mean, Jeremy's a great athlete to begin with, but he's always in good fielding position. He's ready to react any direction, right, left, in or back. That time just a little soft liner right back at him. That's an easy play for Jeremy Hellickson.
And you can see that gold band on the heel of his glove right there. You win a Gold Glove, you get to have one of those for the rest of your career.
Take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the ball game today. For Jeremy Hellickson, going to follow the leaders that worked for us yesterday. Ruby De La Rosa threw a gem following Zach Godley and Patrick Corbin. Hopefully Jeremy Hellickson follows suit today. And already Matt Garza make him field the ball.
Martin Maldonado. Nick Ahmed will field this one. And Jeremy Hellickson a 1-2-3 second. He's retired 5 in a row. No score at Chase Field. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. Get the new steak and egg breakfast burrito at Jack in the Box. It's not your basic breakfast burrito. Big crowd here this afternoon. Some apparently snuck in. Those are Mitch Riggins' junior high school buddies, our director. And to get him in while the authorities look the other way. Matt Garza out there for the second inning. And A.J. Pollock will lead it off. A.J. 305 and 11 home runs. In the cleanup spot this afternoon.
Garza threw all of 4 pitches to get 3 outs in that first inning. That'll make him work a little harder than that.
A bunt single from Ender Inciarte. Aaron Hill flying out. Goldie hit into a double play. Matt Garza often seems like he's put together an impressive big league career. His best season by far, 2010, 15-10 in Tampa Bay. Other than that, he's never won more than 11 games in any one year, and more often than not has lost more games than he's won in his 10 years in the big leagues. A career ERA at 3.91, 80 wins, 85 losses. He'll be 32 in November, and he's had some injury issues lately.
By far Garza's best season, the 2010 season, pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays, went 15-10 that year with an ERA of 3.9. One of those guys that can be very frustrating. He does eat up innings. He does, for the most part, keep his team in a ball game. But the book on Matt Garza has always been stay close, and he will do something to beat himself. He'll make a mistake at a key time.
A little bloop into right center, and it drops in. Second hit for the Diamondbacks. Look at the Brewers around Matt Garza, our mid-first bank starting defense for Milwaukee.
Chris Davis out in left field, Gerardo Parra in center, Ryan Braun out in right field. It'll be Perez and Gomez on the left side of the infield, Jeanette and Lucroy on the right side. Martin Maldonado doing the catching for right-hander Matt Garza.
Leadoff man aboard, Jake Lamb now.
Well, if A.J. Pollock has anything to say to Jonathan Lucroy, better do it quickly, because I don't think he's going to be on first base very long.
He's taking off here.
I would think he's going to go relatively early. We saw Ender Inciarte kind of an early break for second base. That tells me that they've discerned something from his delivery, that they can get a really good jump over there at first base. See if A.J. can see the same thing that Ender Inciarte did.
Already with 22 stolen bases on the year. He bluffs and holds. That one misses, and it's 1-1.
Just a crossover step, a couple strides towards second base, and then pick up the action at home plate. Not sure if he wanted to run and felt he didn't have a good enough jump, or he is just giving the Brewers something to think about over there.
Does it again. Garza finally stepped off, turned around. AJ was halfway to second.
Well, Martin Maldonado does have a pretty good hose behind the plate. He's thrown out 34% on the season, but you know, most of the time it's the jump you get against the pitcher that determines whether you're safe or out at second base.
Bouncer to Jeanette. Gomez for one. AJ breaks it up, and Lamb's aboard.
Good hard aggressive slide by A.J. Pollock. You'll notice on a ball hit to the right side of the infield with the shortstop covering the bag, he's going to come across the bag into the second base side of the field. So A.J. slid to the right side of second base. If it were reversed and the ball was hit to the left side, that second baseman is probably going to come across the bag onto the shortstop side of the field. So you would slide to the left side of second base. You just want to disrupt that guy. Just make sure he can't get his feet underneath him and make that relay throw on to first base.
Yasmani Tomas. Drives the first one out to left. Davis all the way. He won't get there. It hits the wall. Jake Lamb is going to stop at third, and Tomas is in at second.
Whistled that ball over the head of Chris Davis in left field. First pitch fastball down and in. A little more elevation. That ball gets out there off the wall or over the wall. Chris Davis will take the occasional banana route, chasing fly balls, especially those hard hit line drives like that. I think that one was hit over anybody's head out there in left.
So 2 men in scoring position, 1 out for Nick Ahmed, the shortstop.
Yeah!
Got your ears on. The Baxter hat. By the way, Bob, we'd be remiss if we didn't wish a happy birthday to Baxter. It's Baxter's birthday today.
All his friends are in the ballpark today. Mascots from various businesses and schools and other professional teams here in the Valley.
Brewers infield creeps in. There's ball 1. Nick 0 for 7 with a pair of strikeouts in the series. He is 2 for his last 34 up there. So he's been scuffling a bit as of late. He was interviewed by our kidcaster today, McKenzie, who's on the PA right now over there with Chuck Drago. Doing a great job. She's brought us several base runners here in the inning, McKenzie, and we'll talk to her coming up. There she is.
Not you, Chuck.
Looks like Chuck's got his hands full in there. One to Ahmed. Now, doesn't Garza struggle throwing the ball as well? He'll throw it into the stands sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, and it's on defensive plays. Obviously, he can throw the ball from the mound with great command. His pickoff throws to first base are okay. He'd rather not throw over to first base, but boy, when he comes off of that mound and has to pick up the ball and throw to a base, that's when the fun starts.
So usually you're trying to bunt it away from the pitcher, but in this case, you want him to pick up the baseball, right?
Absolutely.
2-1 pitch. Ahmed bunts it. Garza's on it. Underhand toss. Maldonado puts the tag on Lamb. Tomas is in at third. Ahmed's aboard. Lamb is out at home. Well, he didn't have to throw that one.
No, that's that underhand shovel, which he's much more accurate with that than when he has to raise that arm up and throw overhand. That was a safety squeeze. I think that was on Jake Lamb. That's a bad read right there. That ball was bunted hard right back to the pitcher. Now, granted, I've seen Garza pick that ball up and throw it off the backstop before, but on a safety squeeze, you have to read the bunt in advance if you're sure you can make it to home plate.
So Tomas at third, Ahmed at first. 2 outs for Oscar Hernandez. 3 for 12 to begin his major league career. He's got a double and an RBI. Good day to be in the pool and the hot tub here at Chase Field.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com. You heard Aaron Hill talking about Matt Garza's arsenal before the ball game started. The fastball we've seen a lot of. Occasionally he'll try to throw a two-seamer, but when he gets into trouble, he's going to go to his breaking pitches, whichever one he's feeling more on a given day, either the curveball or the hard slider. After the ball game today, we're going to jump on the plane, fly up to the great Pacific Northwest, and I think Martin Maldonado stole Mike Zunino's catcher's gear.
It's a Seahawks fan, apparently.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like Russell Wilson back there.
There's no green on the Brewers team colors.
Just with that one, Oscar's even 2-2. First of 3 against the Mariners tomorrow night on Fox Sports Arizona. Robbie Ray goes tomorrow. Zach Godley Tuesday. Patrick Corbin versus King Felix Wednesday afternoon. From Safeco Field. 2-2 pitch. Speaking of that road trip, take a look at the upcoming trip. Let's Go Places, brought to you by your Valley Toyota dealers. This is a long one, Bob. A lot of airtime here coming up the next week and a half.
Frequent flyer miles, no kidding. You mentioned King Felix in the finale on Wednesday in Seattle. Houston with their great pitching staff, and then we know the Nationals rotation is as good as any in baseball, so it's going to be quite the challenge for the offense.
The tapper in the hole. Perez at third. Oscar hustling up the line, but he throws him out. And Garza, who was in trouble that whole inning, gets out of it. Still no score after 2. Fox Sports Arizona, Sanderson Ford Kidcaster. Welcome. You did a great job on the PA with Chuck over there. Got us a couple of base runners, just not able to get a run across.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's great to have you here. Now, what do you do for a living?
I run.
You run?
I don't actually make money, but I do run.
Where are you running to? Are you running from something?
No, not currently. But I used to run for my school.
Oh, good. Cross country, track?
Cross country and track.
Oh, nice.
Where do you go to school?
Well, now I'm going to Madison #1, but I used to go to Trivium Prep. Then we moved.
Yeah, there we've got the pertinent information on Mackenzie here today.
This is the back of your baseball card, Mackenzie. I love watching Modern Family. Who's your favorite Modern Family person?
I really like Luke. He's really funny.
Oh, Luke, the kid.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I like Phil, Luke's dad. He's my favorite.
Oh yeah, Phil is pretty funny too.
He's kind of a goofball.
Yeah.
Now I see your favorite Diamondback players. You got to interview one of them. That was Nick Ahmed, huh?
Yeah.
What did he tell you? Anything good?
We have the same favorite baseball movie.
Which one's that?
Sandlot.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I love the Sandlot.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah.
I like this here at the bottom. Other favorite teams? None. We like that, Mackenzie.
None at all? No other sports?
No.
Okay, you're all in. I like that. A baseball person.
Yeah.
Matt Garza leads off the Brewer third here. We're talking to Mackenzie Banks, our Sanderson Ford Kidcaster. That's a fair ball by a diving Goldie. And down the right field line, Garza has a leadoff single.
Mackenzie, did you get a chance to get out to many games here at Chase Field?
Yeah, we have season tickets.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Outstanding.
Good job, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Your other favorite Diamondback players, A.J. Pollock and David Peralta. I think you're the first Kidcaster we've had that didn't list Goldie. Now, why do you like A.J. and Nick and David?
I don't know. They're just awesome.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm different. I don't know why. They're just awesome.
Well, good for you. You should have your own opinions about things. That's important. You don't want to be one of these bandwagon people just following the crowd. You want to be a trendsetter, right? Yeah, you can think for yourself. Here's Gerardo Parra. He's hit into right center. Garza takes the turn. He's going to make it into third. And the Brewers with a pair of singles to lead off the ball game here in the third against Hellickson. Did you remember Gerardo Parra when he played here?
Yeah, we had season tickets last year, and I think I have his bobblehead. Right? Pretty sure I do. Yeah.
Mom says yes, you do.
Yeah.
Now it says here your favorite part of the game is when A.J. Pollock and Nick Ahmed dive for catches. Nick's been doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him about that?
No, I should have brought that up. That I like to watch it. It's really fun because I want to play shortstop.
Oh,
so
good.
I like to watch him.
Are you going to play softball and stuff?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Nick's one of the best. He's a good guy to model yourself after.
Yeah.
Well, Hellickson with some work to do here. He got out of a jam in the first. Got Garza at third, Parra at first. Nobody out. Here's Lucroy. He'll fly out his first time.
Yeah, Bert, did you notice she also loves it when David Peralta hits a triple? Now, we call him the runaway train.
Yeah.
Because he runs the bases like a train off the tracks out there. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, that's funny. You and I have that in common, Mackenzie. That's my favorite thing is to watch David Peralta. When he hits a ball in the gap or down the line and he has a chance to go for three,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Ball one.
Well, just for you, Mackenzie. Look at this. This happened Friday night. Ryan Braun hit a hard ground ball up the middle, and there's Nick Ahmed diving.
Now, were you out there in the backyard practicing your dives?
No, I just got home from San Diego.
Oh, nice. What's going on there? Vacay?
I was in SeaWorld. It was really fun.
Wow. SeaWorld, Diamondback games. It's a good summer, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah, my life is very complex.
Well, I mean, you got a lot going on. You're 12.
Yeah.
And a lot of responsibilities, right?
And then playing with my cousins, it's so horrible. Sadie, Ashlyn, Amelia, and Allison.
You got all their names, and that's clutch.
Yeah.
Where are that? Do they live near you guys?
They all live in Arizona.
Oh, good. Okay. So it's a big family.
Yeah.
Nice. 2-0 on Lucroy. Says here your favorite food is bacon.
Yeah. I love bacon. It's good.
Well, maybe we can put you together with some sponsors, get you a bacon deal.
Ooh, that sounds good.
We have that in common, Mackenzie. I like bacon.
I was going to say, BB eats a lot of bacon. It also says, I'm from Boston. It says you visited New England. You got to go. When were you out there?
Yeah, I was out there last summer.
They talk funny out there, don't they?
Yeah. And then in Boston, it's really fun because we took the subway the whole time. And I think that was my first time taking the subway. So
yeah, they call it the T out there, the MBTA.
Yeah.
Did you take the Green Line?
I think so.
Yeah. Fenway Park. Did you get to go to Fenway Park? Where
No,
the Red Sox play?
No.
Okay.
We went.
Saw some history.
We went for my grandpa's graduation from Harvard.
Your grandpa graduated from Harvard.
Yeah.
Wow. Over there, it's Harvard.
Harvard, yeah.
You know, that's what they used to say. It's a fly ball, very short right center. Goes behind Tomas. Garza going to bluff and hold it third. One away. Yeah, my brother Teddy used to be a receiver there at Harvard. He was an All-American. That's the way they talk out there. You probably picked that up.
Yeah.
Big out number one. They retire Lucroy. Here comes Braun. Mackenzie, it's a tough spot here for your Diamondbacks. Got to figure out a way to strand these base runners.
Yeah.
We need a double play, Mackenzie. That's what we need. A ground ball right at your boy Nick Ahmed. How's that?
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to see him dive for a catch.
Now, do you have a favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher?
Don't screw this up. This is big.
My mom.
Oh, good answer.
Nice save. How about that, Mom? Huh? 40 pitches for Jeremy already, 26 strikes. Misses to Braun. It's 1-0. What's the best thing your mom has taught you?
She helps with my homework.
She doesn't do the homework, does she? She's not actually doing it.
No, but she's right there.
There's Mom.
I don't know.
Some days we could use a little help with our homework here in the booth. You know, we got all these papers and all these numbers to study.
Here's a bouncer, and he'll coming home. And they got Garza at home plate. They keep a goose egg on the board. 2 down. Well, Mackenzie, you didn't have to dive for that one, but it was a nice play by Aaron Hill at third. Or Jake Lamb, pardon me.
I mean, Matt Garza runs into the easy out at home plate, but that's exactly what you're supposed to do right there. Otherwise, Jake Lamb turns and throws to the middle of the field and possibly turns a double play, and the inning is over. So even though it looked awful, and Garza's not the swiftest runner down there at third base, that's absolutely what he should have done.
5-2 put out at the plate.
We'll see if that takes anything out of the Brewers pitcher running around the bases there. He went first to third on Gerardo Parra's base hit. Tries to score on a ground ball, gets thrown out at home plate, has to slide into Oscar Hernandez. See if that bothers him when he goes back out to the mound.
So Parra at second, Braun at first. 2 outs, and it's Chris Davis who struck out his first time up. He's a free swinger up there. It's 0-1. Mackenzie, what's your favorite Diamondback uniform? I mean, we got the whites, the Sedona red, the Saturday black. Got the old school purple and teal this year.
I like the red. I don't know why. It just pops. It's cool.
Nice. I thought this was impressive. You want to be I mean, you just came from SeaWorld.
Right.
You want to be a marine scientist, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What is what is so interesting about that? You like whales and stuff, or?
I like the conservation program at San Diego SeaWorld.
Nice. So you just got to see that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. 1-1 on Davis. So when they scream out, is anyone here a marine biologist? You can maybe one day say yes. Just like on the Seinfeld episode.
Her favorite show is Modern Family.
Yeah, I know. I went off the map there.
I have seen Seinfeld, though.
Nice. That comes up here occasionally. 1-1 pitch. Well, he's taking his cuts up there, Chris Davis.
He's swinging at fastballs. Unfortunately for Chris Davis, Jeremy Hellickson's throwing changeups. Way out in front again. Yeah, we've talked about it throughout this series. This is a very aggressive fastball hunting club. They want to hit that ball. They want to hit it early in the count. If you can get those off-speed pitches anywhere near that strike zone, get a lot of swings and misses and weak contact.
1-2. Hellickson a strike away from once again wiggling out of trouble here. And 2 on, 1 out in the first. Got a couple of strikeouts.
I think they just called a balk, maybe. I don't know. Gerardo Parra tried to run to third base. That was very close. I'm not sure when timeout was exactly called, but Jeremy Hellickson had kind of started into his motion and then stopped. But I think timeout had already been called.
1-2 pitch. Just did get a piece of that one.
So what do you have planned for the rest of the day? You know, stay at the ball game, right?
Yeah.
Watch the Diamondbacks win.
Yeah, hopefully.
then what?
And then I'm probably going to go home and play with my dogs. And
What
swim.
kind of dogs?
I have a Weimaraner, and then I think he's like a Jack Russell Terrier mix.
What are their names?
Seeker and Bruno.
Oh, nice.
Bob has to dog sit sometimes.
Now, my son has a dog, and he's out of town a lot, so when he leaves town, I get to watch the dog. Cooper.
There's the big strikeout. Third strikeout of the ball game for Hellickson. He gets out of a big jam here in the third. Mackenzie Banks. Mackenzie, it was great to meet you. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Also impressive pitching from Jeremy Hellickson. 2 on, 1 out in the first. Got a couple of strikeouts. 2 on, nobody out in the third and got out of trouble. So still scoreless here as the Diamondbacks start the bottom of the third against Brewers starter Matt Garza. Hey fans, watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and a whole lot more every night, every device, the whole thing. Blackout and other restrictions do apply, so check MLB.TV for details. Jeremy Hellickson leads off the Diamondback third. Jeremy's been a hitter this year, 5 for 29. But he's down 0-2. Matt Garza, a win in his previous start. That was last Tuesday against Cleveland at Miller Park. Just his 5th win this year, 6 scoreless, 6 hits. He won that game straight off the DL. He'd been out for 3 weeks with right shoulder tendonitis. As he strikes out Hellickson, he admitted to running out of gas near the end of his 6 innings. And prior to that DL stint had been pitching through some shoulder issues, the tendonitis. Just 2 wins over his last 12 appearances. And had an ERA near 6 over that span. So we'll check the tank on Garza. Might run empty a little earlier than normal here today.
Now those last 4 starts before the All-Star break, 3 losses and a no decision. He threw a total of 24 innings, gave up 41 hits and 24 runs in those 4 games. But as you mentioned, dealing with some shoulder issues, trying to pitch through it. Spent some time on the DL and much improved in his first start after the break.
Ender Inciarte, a perfect bunt single up the first base line his first time up. Yeah, Garza has been really hittable this year. He surrendered double-digit hits in 3 of his last 5 starts, in fact, including 13 hits in back-to-back starts last month against the Royals and the Rockies. But much of that attributed to the shoulder tendonitis that put him on the DL. So he's won only 3 times in his last 13 appearances. Ender's ahead 2-0. Make it 3-0, taken all the way. Aaron Hill on deck. Baxter's birthday today. It's quite an event here. You thought Cooperstown was a big deal. They're lined up to wish Baxter a happy birthday. They got signs and everything. Lucroy at first knocks it down. Garza covers and they retire Ender. 2 down in the third. I mentioned Lucroy's not played a whole lot over there. Just his third start of the season at first base.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Aaron Hill flying out his first time up, 1 for 5 in the series. There's strike 1. Talked about the Brewers maybe being very active here over the next week at the trade deadline. Garza's a guy that might go. He's not quite halfway through a 4-year, $50 million free agent deal. He signed with Milwaukee before last season. Fly ball out to Davis. And it's off the glove. Aaron Hill will have to stop it first. That was a routine inning ender, and Davis just clanked it.
See that very often. It's basically a routine fly ball to left field, a little bit of a humpback liner, but Davis just kind of cruising on the ball. Actually pulled up there. That ball hits off his thumb and drops to the ground for a 2-out base runner for the Diamondbacks.
Well, he had a Tomas liner in the gap go over his head and reach the wall. That went off the glove. E7. Hill aboard at first, 2 down for Goldie, who hit into a double play his first time up. Goldie 3 for 8 in the series so far. He's got a pair of doubles. 344 on the year to lead the National League. Oh, 2. Goldie has done some damage against these guys this year.
Who?
A little bit,
I guess.
9 walks in 6 games, and he's still got 7 RBIs and 3 homers.
9 walks for Goldie, including 2 intentional, but he hasn't scored after any of those walks.
And that's been a recurring theme here lately. The offense the last 12 games or so has not been what it was earlier in the year for the Diamondbacks. Some guys that are struggling behind Goldie.
Well, there was a stretch of the season for quite a while there toward the end of the first half where when the opponents made errors or made mental mistakes on the field, the Diamondbacks were ready to jump on them and take advantage. It's going to take a big 2-out something here from Goldie.
Garza, you talked about this before, Bob. Garza, it seems oftentimes when there's a runner at first, will just step off, but he's really reluctant to actually throw the ball over there.
A little bit of a right-handed John Lester in that respect.
It might end up in the 5th row. Seen him do that a number of times. He's had traffic around him on the bases in every inning so far. He stepped off a bunch of times, but rare will you see a throw to first. The step off and the stare is about it. Well, he's got to get together with Martin Maldonado and his Seahawks catcher's gear. I know Cardinals fans don't like to see those colors.
No. Football be cranking it up again.
They're about a week away from camp, I think. Yeah. Our buddy Calais Campbell will be doing 2-a-days under BA out there. Should be a fun season.
Palmer back in the house, healthy, ready to go.
1-2 on Goldie. Lucroy not on the bag for Maldonado to throw down there, and it's even 2-2. Boy, Garza tripped and fell trying to plant there. It's full 3-2.
Well, and if you're keeping track at home, that's the 33rd time this season that Paul Goldschmidt has gone from an 0-2 or 1-2 count to a full count.
He's the king of that.
Yes, he is.
Goldie does Goldie things, and that's one of them. So 3-2, 2 outs. Lucroy will play behind the runner Hill. He'll be off of the pitch. Walk your dog, not Goldie.
I like that one.
That's got some legs. Starting to pick up steam. Legs, dog, the whole thing. There goes Hill. Strikes out Goldschmidt. We are through 3. Still no score chase.
Welcome back to Chase Field. I'm Kate Longworth. Well, they were teammates for 3 seasons, including a World Championship run. So obviously, this Hall of Fame Sunday, Mark Grace has many memories that involve Randy Johnson. But Gracie told me his favorite memory is more encompassing than a single big unit accomplishment. Gracie recalled as a player getting later into the season, things started to become a little bit ritual. Day in and day out, you head to the ballpark for yet another game. But he vividly recalled how he felt on days Randy would start. He said the moment he got in the car and envisioned the day ahead, he'd smile because he knew without a doubt a victory was ahead when Johnson got the nod. And he said more than oftentimes that something special would happen. Randy would not just get the start, the win, but they were going to see something special. And of course, those dreams coming true for Randy Johnson today as he goes into the Hall of Fame. And I imagine, Mr. Bob Brenly, as the manager, you had a lot of moments like that too when you knew Randy Johnson was taking the mound.
It's got to be a comfortable feeling for you.
Oh, yeah.
Scooter Gennett. Scooter says it hit him in the foot, and Mark Ripperger agrees. I'm not sure it did. Let's see.
Not quite as easy to act your way through a hit by pitch as it used to be with replay. We'll take another look here. This is
I think the sound might have been the back of Oscar Hernandez's catcher's mitt. You heard a little bit of a thud.
If anything, it might have caught some of those pants out of that, the bell bottoms that Scooter Gennett is wearing up there in that left-handed batter's box.
Didn't sound like it hit him. No challenge from the D-backs, so Scooter's aboard. Hernan Perez, the third baseman. You mentioned in your comments in Randy's introductory video there for the Hall of Fame that he would come in sometimes and ask why you didn't talk to him during the games. I thought that was funny. And kind of find out why afterward, right?
I tried. I mean, honest to God, yeah, we all know how competitive Randy was, and anybody that's ever been to a ball game live or watched on television after he gets the third out of the inning, you know, he throws down his gum and he's talking to himself or somebody, and he'd get back over to the dugout. And one particular game, I was trying to be more proactive and a little more conversational, check on Randy's welfare. How you doing? How's it look like I'm doing? Is there something wrong? Nope. But that's why I don't talk to you on days you pitch. Just go get them. Go do your job. We'll talk tomorrow.
That's a fair ball. Jake Lamb third, a long throw, and against Perez. Jeanette moves up one away.
Well, just echoing what Gracie said, though, the thing about Randy was he had those moments where fans for years and generations to come are going to say, I was there when. I was there when Randy threw the perfect game. I was there when Randy hit the dove. I was there when Randy struck out 20. I mean, his career is just full of those I was there moments.
Hector Gomez, the shortstop. It was the same for the media. I mean, you know that. Everybody knows that. Randy, I mean, now you can't shut him up. He's a great, warm guy. Loves to talk. He'll talk about baseball all day long as he wants. But I remember covering Yankee spring training one year. It was 06 down in Tampa. And once every day we would try and interview Randy when he was playing for the Yankees. We went 0 for 5 that week. Every day you walk out, Randy, 5 minutes. And all right, try again tomorrow. Got shut out that whole week. Now he'll just walk in the booth and start talking to us. And he
somebody
seems to really be enjoying it.
Somebody that looks just like Randy. I'm not sure it is the same guy.
But as you pointed out, he wouldn't have pitched like the same guy had he been that, you know, personality change.
It's very subjective, you know. In the process of talking about Randy's induction, you know, we were comparing different guys, you know, like Luis Gonzalez. Luis Gonzalez was as competitive as anybody we had, but he approached his in a different way. He would laugh with his teammates, he'd laugh with his opponents, he'd talk to the umpires. Randy just had single-minded focus on the days he pitched, and he didn't want to be bothered by his teammates, by the opponents, by the fans, by the media. Just let him go out there and do what it is that he does so well, and that was his competitive nature. That's what drove him.
0-2 on Gomez. But as you saw, the fans at Cooperstown signing autographs, and they had a parade yesterday, the speech today. And he's really enjoying his time as a Hall of Famer now.
You start to look a little deeper into the numbers. Of course, we showed you a graphic there with all of his milestone accomplishments, and you go a little deeper and think about platoon advantages, which means a right-handed pitcher on a right-handed hitter, or vice versa, a left-handed pitcher pitching to a left-handed hitter. Randy had nearly 15,000 plate appearances against right-handed batters, only 2,000 against left-handed batters.
Lefties wanted no part of him.
No, I mean, you know, you compare Pedro, fairly even, 5,200 against righties, 6,100 against lefties. For John Smoltz, 6,700 against righties, 7,500 against lefties. But yeah, Randy was almost always facing all right-handed lineups.
Makes the accomplishments even more remarkable.
Yeah.
1-2 on Gomez now. Well, among lefties, there's Warren Spahn, Steve Carlton, and Randy Johnson, right? Is Randy the greatest lefty ever?
I'd have to say so. I mean, I faced Steve Carlton, and absolutely he was good, but he brought a different kind of competitiveness to the mound. You didn't feel intimidated by Steve Carlton. He may carve you up and get you out 3 or 4 times in a game, but you never had that fear in the back of your mind that this guy could throw a ball right through me, and he might.
We know John Kruk had that feeling, among others.
And this is why he didn't face very many left-handed batters. Collectively, they hit 199 against him in their career with a slugging percentage of .294.
The class of 2015, John Smoltz and Pedro Martinez and Craig Biggio. Yeah, the scales were balanced against the big unit in terms of the platoon splits.
Yeah, his stuff played against anybody. It didn't matter.
Gomez chases that one. The curveball from Hellickson. They complete the strikeout. That's number 4 for Jeremy. 2 down. Jeanette stays put at second. And speaking about Hall of Famers, you know, his stuff would have played in any era. He could have pitched with old Hoss Radburn and those guys, Eddie Plank. He could have, I mean, he's a great baseball history guy. He could have pitched in the 50s with Whitey Ford. Those guys, I mean, that would have played anytime, anywhere.
Absolutely. It would have been scary to see him pitch, you know, back in the days when the catcher almost stood straight up behind home plate, and, you know, guys had the windmill wind up. All that crazy stuff they used to do out there on the mound.
Martin Maldonado. Hellickson again trying to strand a runner in scoring position. Brewers so far, well, even throughout this series, now 0 for their last 16 with runners in scoring position. Great Council's team, 12 under 500, more than 20 games back in the NL Central, last place in their division.
Brewers in that tough division. You know, St. Louis every year is a contender in that National League Central. The Pirates recently have shown that they're a legitimate postseason playoff team. Chicago Cubs much improved. Their rebuilding process just about to come to fruition, and
they might get Cole Hamels.
Yeah, and then you got, you know, the Reds and the Brewers kind of struggling along there at the bottom of the division, but you get the feeling with Craig Counsell and the improvements they've made since he took over this ball club. Some good development in the minor leagues, some good drafts, maybe a free agent signing or two once they get into a position to be competitive. And I don't think it's going to take long for the Brewers to turn it around.
Well, behind on Maldonado 2-0, and with the pitcher Garza coming up, they'll walk the catcher. First and second, 2 down, they'll work to Garza. That was a look at our DirecTV National League Central standings. And the Brewers at the bottom, the Reds just ahead of them. Cincinnati has started its fire sale. They traded Johnny Cueto to the Royals today, which for me makes Kansas City the team to beat, I think, in the playoff push in both leagues, but that's just me. Got 3 left-hand pitchers, including Brandon Finnegan, who was such a big part of the Royal bullpen last year in the postseason. So Cueto goes to Kansas City. And here's Garza. Jeanette, the runner at second. Maldonado, the catchers at first. Oh, 0-1. I want to welcome those of you who have been watching the Pedro Martinez Hall of Fame speech, all the ceremonies on the MLB Network. During his speech, Pedro called Randy Johnson his brother from another mother because they were just so similar. Wait, what? They were similar in one way. They were stretches where they were absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
Unhittable.
And both of them dominating, at least for parts of their career, in an era when steroids were rampant, performance-enhancing drugs, offensive numbers went through the roof. Yeah. And Pedro and Smoltz and Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, others just kept getting guys out.
Garza waves at that one. Oscar Hernandez will complete the strikeout. That's 5 for Hellickson, and once again he strands some Brewers base runners to keep this game scoreless. More standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One. Great taste, no face, available at local retailers. Some food at the ballpark. Sunday afternoon at Chase Field. Brewers and Diamondbacks no score as A.J. Pollock is set to lead off the fourth against Matt Garza. Or as he's often referred to, Matty Garza. Or Matt Garza if you're from New York. Yeah. Hey fans, while we have a moment here, get on the Twitter. Use the hashtag AZDataStrongFan. That's AZDataStrongFan. And you might see your photo in our upcoming Diamondback TV broadcast, selected by Jeff Munn, newly enshrined onto the Brenly Committee. Munn, we talked about this on Snake Talk last night. He was overwhelmed by your gesture to incorporate him in the Brenly Committee, and I thought he did a good job, 1 for 1 so far.
Well, we did our scouting. You know, we don't just appoint guys willy-nilly. We did a lot of background checks, and we know that Jeff Munn, once he applies himself to something, if you give him an assignment, he will pursue it with single-minded focus. So we figured, you know, if there's anybody up here in press box row that's qualified to be on the Brenly Committee, it's Jeff Munn.
I think he just gave us the Queen Elizabeth wave. You know, where the little hand turn?
Just the wrist turn, yeah.
He's going through the photos right now on his computer. Garza right now, 40 pitches, 27 strikes. Pollock, who singled his first time up, leads it off. So the fan photo coming up later today.
It's just like teams, you know, when it comes draft time, it's pretty apparent who the talented players are. It's easy to see talent if you follow these guys long enough. We have to dig a little deeper. Find guys that have that little extra something.
Yeah, there's no scouting combine for this.
No.
So it's a thorough process. He did not go, says Brian O'Nor, the crew chief at first. So it's 1-0 on AJ. Leo, I had to break the news to Leo during the Snake Talk show last night that he was out. He didn't take it well. There's Tom Candiani working alongside the governor, Greg Schulte, on Diamondback Radio.
We were always happy with Leo's efforts, but he just kind of rested on his laurels. You know, he had a couple of big hits when we initially appointed him, and then he just kind of let it go to his head.
There was a lot of gloating. 3-0. So we turn to Jeff Munn to carry the ball for a while here. How about AJ? Hitting better than 360 on this long homestand to open up the second half, and he draws a walk to lead off the fourth. First walk issued by Garza.
Third baseman, Jake Lamb.
Brings up Jake Lamb. Now, last time he was down there at first, a single to lead off the second. AJ had happy feet down there, kind of rattled Garza a bit. He would break for second and then suddenly stop. He bluffed a couple of times, so keep an eye on him down there. Does it again. Takes a big secondary lead, and now Maldonado wants to go talk it over.
Hey fans, we invite you to play Kachinko by signing up at one of the 20 interactive kiosks right here at Chase Field during any Arizona Diamondbacks regular season home game.
Today's Kachinko player was a Sanderson Ford finalist.
Yeah.
So they'll be down there looking for the car at the end of the year.
Just me, but the Kachinko board needs to have a few more bumpers on it. You know how the wheel spins in the middle?
Yeah.
And they drop it in at the top, and they're supposed to bounce around.
Goes down too quick for you?
I mean, today it went almost straight down through. I don't even know if it touched a bumper.
Let's see. Take a look.
Well, there's the wheel itself, but you know, as it spins, the idea is the game piece bounces off those little bumpers. The wheel in the middle is spinning, and then ultimately it drops into a slot at the bottom. But today, boy, it shot right through the wheel. I don't know if it even touched a bumper.
Physics.
Yeah. Another one of those tough subjects.
Have to get McKenzie back here to sort that out for us. 2-1 on Lamb. Maybe we could just increase the speed of the revolutions.
Well, there you go.
Just crank that thing into turbo mode.
Now you're getting into physics. See. I mean, you know, everybody's seen Plinko at one time or another on The Price is Right, and you know the suspense when the thing starts going one direction and then back the other direction and past the $1,000 mark over into the $5 slot. You need to build some suspense on that Plinko.
Jake Lamb gives it a ride way back center field, and it's off the wall. A.J. Pollock is coming home. They can't pick it up out there, and Jake has got an RBI triple. Gerardo Parra had problems out there getting the baseball back in his hand. Couldn't pick it up, and Lamb was in at third easily. 1-0 Diamondbacks. That's a triple and an RBI.
Starting to see some signs. Jake slowly coming around up there at the plate. He barreled this one about halfway up the wall out there in center. Parra tries to make the barehanded grab. He misses it. Misses it again. By the time he picks it up, Jake Lamb is sliding into third base with his 4th triple of the year.
And a chance to add to that lead with Lamb at third, nobody out. Yasmani Tomas, who doubled his first time up. The Diamondbacks lead the league in triples.
Might have been a little bit of a generous call there, giving him a triple. You could see on the replay Jake was ready to stop at second base until he saw Parra drop the ball the second time, and only then did he advance on to third. But we'll take that 3-base hit.
The outfielder did drop the ball twice. Just saying. There's the strike. Gerardo Parra's Alex not played out there before.
Just tries to make the barehanded play when it was unnecessary, and now he's in a rush to get the ball back into the infield and fans on it a second time.
50 pitches for Matt Garza, 30 strikes, 1-1 on Tomas. Yasmani 3 hits in the series, including a home run Thursday. Brown-eyed girl. Van Morrison in the house. Tomas waves at that one. He has now struck out at least once in 13 straight games. There's been a lot of swings and misses from Yasmani lately.
Breaking ball off the plate, that slider. I mentioned it at the top of the show that Garza, depending on which pitch he's feeling more that day, will either throw more curveballs or more sliders. He will use both of them, but most days one of them feels better than the other, and that's the one he'll go to more often.
You feeling a bunt right here? Brewers infield is in. Nick has at times bunted for a base hit this year. Swinging away at this point. He did not go, says Brian O'Neill. 1-0. It up. Gomez wants it. 2 down.
The Diamondbacks did try a bunt with Jake Lamb at third base back in the second inning. Nick Ahmed was at the plate. What appeared to be a safety squeeze. He bunted the ball too hard right back to the mound, and Matt Garza shocked everyone in the ballpark by making a good play to throw out Jake at home plate.
So they'll need a 2-out hit from Oscar Hernandez to get Lamb home from third. Oscar grounded out his first time.
Nice play, Alan Porter. Foul ball ricocheted off the Diamondbacks dugout, bounced high in the air back out toward the field of play, and Alan Porter just stuck the right hand out there, made a nice catch.
The third base umpire. Oh, 2.
The umpires hate that when a catcher drops a called strike.
Why is that?
Well, because the hitter will always say, how can that be a strike? He can't even catch it. The umpire likes the called strikes to be received cleanly. That time Maldonado just clanked it off the heel of the glove on down to the ground, but it was in the zone.
0-2. Matt Garza, he'll be 32 in November. I mentioned the right shoulder issue that he's had for most of this month. Last August he was out with an oblique strain. 2 years ago missed 6 weeks with a similar injury. He's had elbow issues on and off the last several years. This year the shoulder. Jams and ties up Oscar inside. 4 strikeouts for Garza. They strand Lamb at third, but he's got an RBI triple, and the Diamondbacks have a 1-0 lead.
You saw this picture that's making the rounds of what Pedro did to you with I mean, that says it all about the characters and the fraternity, doesn't it?
It really does. I can't think of a better class to go in with of guys playing with Craig and knowing Pedro and his reputation and being essentially what I've called him as my mini-me.
Well, Pedro called Randy his brother from another mother. The mini-me's a good comeback. I like that. And that's where Randy's number 51 will go up here. August 8th. That'll be a day to be here at the ballpark. DBacks.com/tickets. The class of 2015, the first Diamondback in the Hall of Fame. And his plaque, he's got this big smile on his plaque. The face, it's not the scowl. That's what you look for.
It's Photoshop.
Looks like it is. John Smoltz, Pedro Martinez, Craig Biggio. Induction ceremonies today. The Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York.
Randy almost a full foot taller than Pedro.
Big Diamondback contingent out there. Tony La Russa, the chief baseball officer. Derek Hall, president CEO. Parr's been aboard twice today, a walk and a single. He'll lead off the 5th against Jeremy Hellickson. And Jeremy's now got a 1-0 lead after the Jake Lamb RBI triple. Hellickson outstanding here at Chase Field July 2nd against the Rockies. 7 innings versus Colorado. 1 run, 3 hits, didn't walk a batter. and had to leave his next start with that right thumb blister. So he had 2 weeks off, and boy, he was right back into form when he was on the mound last Tuesday against the Marlins. 2 runs, 5 hits, 7 innings his last time out, but got the loss in a 3-0 Miami win. But he has now, really since the beginning of May, been very good for the Diamondbacks. Oh, 2. So roller to second, Aaron Hill's on it.
One down here in the top of the 5th inning. Let's take a look at our Geico. This day in Major League Baseball history, July 26, 2000, the Phillies traded Curt Schilling to the Diamondbacks for Travis Lee, Omar Dahl, Vicente Padilla, and Nelson Figueroa. Now, we highlighted on Randy's induction day because Curt Schilling had a lot to do with driving Randy to the success he had here in Arizona. Both those guys, tremendous competitors. They pushed each other. We've had a little fun over the last 3-4 days here talking about the Diamondbacks rotation and how you don't want to be the guy to let the team down. You can imagine with Randy and Curt, the weapons they had available, the competitive nature of both of those guys, how badly they wanted to win when the other guy won the day before.
I've heard Curt do a number of interviews over the last week talking about Randy Johnson, about how they pushed each other.
We used to think about it, and we never laugh because it's competition and anything can happen once you get out on the field. But opposing teams rolling into a 3-game series here at Chase Field, and you're going to get Johnson, Schilling, and Brian Anderson, or Miguel Batista, or whoever number 3 happened to be. But you were pretty sure you're going to lose 2 games of that series, and you're going to do your best to try to win the 3rd one. Co-MVPs of that 0-1 World Series. You know, it's funny because we arranged the rotation the way we did with Schill starting game 1 because we felt at that point of the season and that point of their careers that Schill was probably a little better suited to come back on short rest if necessary. And it turns out Randy's the guy that came back on the shortest of rest to win game 7.
One night. 1-2 on Lucroy. He was 0 for 2. D-backs trying to take 3 of 4 from these Brewers before we head out on a long road trip. Seattle, Houston, and Washington, D.C. And after the way this homestand started, the sweep by the Giants, losing 2 of 3 to the Marlins, so 3 of 4 from these guys would be a nice consolation prize. Doesn't get the call there. Mark Ripperger not biting back there, and it's full 3-2. Great Counsell, of course, a big part of that 0-1 team.
Huge part of that 0-1 team.
Looks the same now as he did then.
Yes, he does. Still looks like a bat boy.
Lucroy drives the 3-2 to center, and it drops in front of Pollock. Here is Craig Counsell, the Brewers skipper, on Randy Johnson.
My favorite memory really is the World Series, and it was really Game 7. It wasn't Game 6 where he pitched great and we won. It was just the fact, just him, you know, throwing 110 pitches, and then being on the field and seeing him walk out to the jog out to the bullpen in the 9th inning was just, you know, it was special. I mean, I get chills thinking about it.
You and everybody else that was there that night, Craig. I'll tell you one thing that made Craig Counsell so valuable to that team that year is we didn't have to carry an extra backup infielder because he could play third, second, short. We played him at first base a little bit over the course of his time here in Arizona. That allowed us to carry an extra bat, whether it's Rubio Durazo and Greg Colburn, both first basemen, but it gave us a lefty-righty combination we could use off the bench. We had Reggie Sanders and Danny Batista, David DeLucci. I mean, we carried 5 outfielders. because Craig Counsell could plug all 3 infield positions and do them flawlessly.
Ryan Braun. He told a story. He was on Burns and Gambo this week, Craig Counsell. He told a great Randy Johnson story. They asked him, what's your memory of Randy Johnson? And he said it was the first game of the 03 season, which was the year after he won his 4th straight Cy Young. So Randy goes out there. First game in 03, loses to the Dodgers. He pitched okay, 6 2/3, gave up 3 runs or so. And he's out of the game. Comes and sits on the bench next to Craig Counsell. Now keep in mind, they've won the World Series. He's won 4 straight Cy Youngs. He turns to Counsell and says, do you ever feel like you just don't have it anymore? And Counsell said, are you kidding me? You just won 4 straight Cy Youngs. It's the first game of the next year. You're done already?
It doesn't go away that fast. Yeah, it's a process, RJ.
But it's funny, that was what stood out in his mind. Just that statement from Randy. Really? There's a strike.
Well, if he was done after the opening day start in 2003, how do you explain the perfect game in 04?
Yeah. And on his way to 300 wins. 3-1 on Braun. Bouncer to third. Foul ball, says Alan Porter.
We're talking about Randy's perfect game down in Atlanta. That was one of those nights, too. I was there. It was so funny to watch the way the crowd evolved. The game started and they're booing him and heckling him. Hey, lefty, this, that, getting on him from behind our dugout. And as the game moved forward, we could tell that there was something special about Randy that night, but slowly the fans were getting won over. In the 4th or 5th inning, a few of the Braves fans started to realize what was about to happen, and they started applauding him when he'd come off the field between innings. And by the 7th or 8th inning, he was getting standing ovations when he came off the field. And by the time he completed the perfect game, the entire ballpark was a Randy Johnson fan.
3-2. Lucroy takes off. That's ball 4. Third walk issued by Jeremy Hellickson. Brewers now once again have a threat. Traffic around Hellickson on the bases. 2 on and 1 out for Chris Davis.
Left fielder Chris Davis.
Maybe some inning management there for Jeremy Hellickson. Certainly Ryan Braun, a very dangerous hitter. He's proven that already in this series. And Chris Davis has just been flailing at those off-speed deliveries from Jeremy Hellickson. So maybe he thought, I'd rather take my chances with Chris Davis, even if it moves a runner into scoring position, than to give in to Ryan Braun.
Davis has struck out both times he's been up there. With you tomorrow from Safeco Field in Seattle. Diamondback Live pregame show at 6:30. First pitch 7:10. Robbie Ray and Mike Montgomery. A matchup of left-handers there. Lucroy the catcher at second. Braun at first. Here's Davis 0 for 2. He is hitless in the series. And he has been a free swinger up there. Sure enough, he takes a strike. He is striking out more often, Chris Davis, than ever before. Just about 25% of the time he's up there. Jason Point, 0-2.
Been a struggle in this situation for the Brewers. 0 for 17 with runners in scoring position. And for Chris Davis, we mentioned he's been carved up with off-speed pitches in his first 2 at-bats, striking out swinging both times. So what does Jeremy Hellickson do this time? Starts him with a fastball right down the middle, then gets him to chase a high fastball.
Curveball changeup coming right here, right?
You would think so. Bounce a curve. Yep.
There it is. He lays off and it's 1-2.
That's where the mental part of this game comes in. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. You strike out looking poorly on off-speed pitches in your first 2 at bats, so you go to the plate, maybe tell yourself, okay, I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to make sure I see the ball, and then you get 2 fastballs thrown right by you.
Changeup, got him. Strikes out Davis for the 3rd time. That's 6 strikeouts for Hellickson. 2 down in the 5th. Into the curveball and then the change.
There will probably be a time in their respective careers that Chris Davis has a really good game against Jeremy Hellickson. But today, the way he's swinging the bat and the way Jeremy's using those off-speed pitches, it's an overmatch.
Scooter Gennett. 2 on and 2 out now. Gennett has struck out. He was hit by a pitch on the foot his last time up, although it looked like maybe it grazed a pant leg. Lucroy at second, Braun at first, 2 outs. Gennett, since his recall from the minor leagues in the beginning of June, has really done well. He's hitting .316. But so far, it's just 1 for 10 in the series. Futures Field. Coach Sean Payton, the hardest working man in baseball.
Inside balls with our feet, our bottoms low, our hands are separate. Say D-back ready. D-back ready. All right. Now we're going to do a D-back creep step.
Natural born catcher there. Did you see him? Everybody's in the defensive position. One kid went all the way down in a squat. That's your catcher.
Get ready when I'm in power position. When I lift my leg up, you're going to creep step. Ready? Set. Now. Good. Give yourself a hand.
He does that for 9 innings every day. He is tireless.
Ready? I'm on the rubber.
Coach Sean Payton.
You're going to creep step. Be back ready. Separate your hands. When I lift my leg up, here it comes.
2-0.
Oh, hitter throwing. Be back ready. If it's hitter throwing above your belly, let's go thumbs together. Ready? Above the belly, thumbs. Good. Be-back ready. D-back creep step. Right, left creep. Below the belly. Pinkies. Show me pinkies. Oh, yeah, you're doing good, Tina. Hold your hands out like this. Hold it. Open up your hands. Open them up. Show them, Dad. All right, let's go back.
Going at first, the backhander. And once again, Jeremy Hellickson strands some Brewer base runners. Coach Sean Payton, thumbs up.
Give each other high five. Someone next to you. Hey, way to go. Give
History at Chase Field when the Diamondbacks retire the jersey of Hall of Famer Randy Johnson. You can stop by this month's participating Cox Solutions store in Tolleson and enter for your chance to win 2 seats aboard the Fox Sports Arizona Fan Express presented by Cox Communications. They'll get round-trip transportation to the Diamondback game on August 8th, and that's the day they'll put number 51 up here for good. Registration ends tomorrow, so you have to hurry. That's a big day, so get on the bus and be with us here at Chase Field for the Randy Johnson jersey retirement ceremony, August 8th. dbacks.com/tickets. Jeremy Hellickson leads off the bottom of the 5th against Matt Garza. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Jake Lamb an RBI triple in the 4th. The only run of the game so far, 4 hits apiece for each side. Trade deadline, BB. Rumors are flying out there. Cueto's already been traded. That's official. Johnny Cueto from the Reds to the Royals for 3 left-hand pitchers. Fox Sports' Ken Rosenthal reporting that, of course, Cole Hamels has been really in the center of the trade rumor since spring training. According to Ken Rosenthal, he's got the Rangers trading Yovani Gallardo to L.A. and then acquiring Cole Hamels from the Phillies. So Hamels would go to Texas, Gallardo would go to the Dodgers, but that's not official. That's just a rumor out there. All kinds of rumors flying around these days. That's one of them. And tell you what, if the Rangers can figure out a way to get Hamels and they get Yu Darvish back next year after he comes back from Tommy John surgery, they'll have something going again in Texas. That's a pretty good 1-2 combination. Scooter Jack recovers at second, throws out Hellickson one down.
If the Rangers could just figure out a way to play better ball at home, they'd be in much better position. They're 10 games under 500 on their home field.
Well, here's another one from Ken Rosenthal. He wrote a column last week looking at the trade deadline, and he wrote that the Padres made a very recent inquiry about Ender Inciarte, and that the Diamondbacks have also been receiving interest in David Peralta, but they are not inclined to move either guy. In fact, Ken wrote that the Padres and Diamondbacks discussed a trade during spring training that would have put both Ender Inciarte and Aaron Hill in San Diego, but the Diamondbacks wanted to hold on to both guys. And you can see why the Padres would be interested in Ender. I mean, he's a great fit for that ballpark. But thankfully, he's in Sedona red here. A perfect bunt single right up the grass along the first base line for Ender. He's also grounded out 1 for 2. 7 for 14 in the series with 3 doubles. There's a strike, 2-1. So Ender has hit safely in 6 straight, 7 of his last 8 games. And since he came off the DL right after the All-Star break, he's hitting about .390. So he has picked up right where he left off and then some. Three and 1. There's Aaron Hill on deck. Three and 2.
Boy, when you're swinging the bat well and you're feeling good up there at the plate, you'll take a 3-1 pitch like that right down the middle from time to time. Just run up an extra pitch count on Matt Garza. You've got the confidence that you can hit with 2 strikes in the at bat. Good leadoff hitters do.
Drives it to right. Ryan Braun at the track at the wall, and it's off the base of the wall. Ender Inciarte red hot. His 17th double and his 4th double in this series.
Second baseman,
Narrowly missed. Look at that. He takes that pitch and he just shakes his head. No, that's not a strike.
Just spits on it.
Yeah. And then rips one into the gap in right center field, narrowly missing a home run hit right out there at the base of the fence near that 376 mark.
He's at second with 1 out for Aaron Hill, who's 0 for 2. There's a strike, 0-1. The all-you-can-eat section. There you go, the hot dog and the mustard.
Oh, nicely done with the mustard.
Just need those onions. That's in the seats, 1-2. At the track. He runs this one down. Ender Inciarte halfway to third will get back in the bag. And that's the second out here in the fifth. And one just like that go over his head early in the ball game. Well, Garza mentioned he's won only 3 times in his last 13 appearances. 12 of those have been starts. The one that wasn't was a win over the Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. You might remember this one, BB. That 17-inning Brewers win in the Sunday getaway day game. And Garza, who was supposed to start the next day, came on in relief and gave him 5 innings out of the bullpen. Gave up just 3 hits and got the win. Here's Craig Counsell. Bullpen is quiet for Milwaukee. You've got Goldie coming up. First base open, 2 outs. I have a feeling I know what they're going to do here.
Well, you would think if they were going to intentionally walk him, Craig Counsell would have just held up 4 fingers in that first base dugout. But the fact that he made a trip to the mound, maybe he let Matt Garza talk him into pitching to Goldie here. See? Wishful thinking.
Goldie has hit into a double play and struck out. He's already walked 5 times in the series. This will be 6, and it's the 3rd intentional pass in 4 games he's gotten from the Brewers, who want no part of him.
22nd intentional walk of the season. I almost hate to bring this up, but it's a fact. Diamondbacks hitters after an intentional walk to Paul Goldschmidt are 0 for 18 this season.
Walk your dog, not Goldie. That's the motto around here, and it's really picking up some speed. But somebody's got to hit behind him. Otherwise, they'll just keep doing this. That word protection comes in there again. We hear that oftentimes. So it'll be 2 on and 2 out for A.J. Pollock. Now, A.J. has been aboard twice. A single and a walk. He scored the game's only run. Came in on the Jake Lamb triple. Inciarte at second, Goldie at first, 2 outs. AJ's got 5 hits in the series, including a double and a triple. 2 RBIs. There's a strike, 0-1. batting over .330 this year in this situation. Lazy fly ball to short right for Braun. Well, it worked out for Craig Counsell. They pitch around Goldie. They strand the runners through 5. It's 1-0 Diamondbacks.
And Ciarte was glued to any coverage that pertained to Randy Johnson. Also a lefty, Ender started his baseball career as a child pitching. And there was only one guy he wanted to be. Any opportunity to watch Randy, he'd schedule his whole day around it. He would cut newspaper clippings out and paste them all over his room of Randy. And anytime he was on the mound, he'd pretend he was the big unit, trying to recreate some of the incredible feats Johnson accomplished. Ender joked now he just dreams of being as tall as Johnson. But in all seriousness, it's a dream come true for Ender to be a part of the same organization that his hero belongs to, and to have the opportunity to discuss the game he loves with a player he admires so much.
Hernan Perez leads off the 6th. A little fly ball out to Ender, and Ciarte. You know, he throws about as hard as Randy. He's not quite as tall as Kate mentioned, but you know, Ender with that big arm out there, I bet he could bring it.
A little higher 3/4 arm action. Randy would drop down there near sidearm from time to time.
Hector Gomez now the shortstop. Gomez 3 for his last 30 at the plate. He's not much of a hitter up there. So we'll try a bunt, but it's 0-1. That's a fair ball for Jake Lamb. 2 down. Pitcher is due to hit 5th in the Diamondbacks half of this inning. Jeremy at 92 pitches, 57 strikes.
Catcher, Martin Maldonado.
One thing we know, because of the 8-inning outing by Ruby De La Rosa yesterday, 7 strong innings from Patrick Corbin the day before, and 6 strong from Zach Godley the first game of this series, the bullpen should be well rested and ready to go.
Anderson Ford bullpen. Randall Delgado the right-hander, Andrew Chafin the left-hander. Here's Martin Maldonado. 4 pitches, 2 outs to start the inning for Hellickson, who's ahead of Maldonado. 0-1. And you may remember we mentioned that game that Garza won back there at the end of May. That 17-inning game. It was Maldonado who had the walk-off winner. Also a fair ball for Jake Lamb. A quick 1-2-3-6 for Jeremy Hellickson. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Jake Lamb, an RBI triple for the game's only run. He'll lead it off for the D-backs sixth. On Fox Sports 1, Johnny Cueto is gone from Cincinnati. He's officially a Royal. Craig Biggio in Cooperstown gives Astros fans something they've never had. And Zach Greinke, the new daddy, on the mound for the Dodgers at the Mets. All that and more tonight. Fox Sports Live, only on Fox Sports 1. Crystal Palace in Tombstone. Belly up to the bar there, BB. Get you a sarsaparilla. As Val Kilmer said in Tombstone, which was actually in the movie Tombstone. He said, "I'm in my prime." Remember that?
No.
No. All right.
I told you, I just let movies wash over me. I don't remember all the lines. I just remember it was either good or it was bad.
Jake Lamb leads off the sixth.
You mentioned Zach Greinke pitching today against the Mets in Citi Field. His scoreless inning streak came to an end today. The fourth longest streak since 1961 ended at 45 2/3 innings.
Well, that's a shame.
It is a shame.
Greinke has an opt-out. He can hit the free agent market this winter if he wants. Something the Dodgers have to think about. So there may be even more pressure on LA to go get a Hamels or maybe a Gallardo. Get somebody.
Juan Uribe trade already paying big dividends for the Mets as he came up with a walk-off hit in the 10th inning to beat the Dodgers today.
Yeah, that should solve all their offensive problems. Well, the Rockies right now beating up on the Reds. A tough day for Reds fans. They lose Cueto. They're trailing in Colorado 16-6 in the 5th inning. We're off to Seattle after this one. The Mariners are tied up with the Blue Jays right now, 5-5 in the 8th. Sunday night game tonight, the Tigers at the Red Sox.
That Rockies-Reds game at Coors Field. It's 16-6 already in the 5th inning. Buckle up.
You wait long enough, a storm will blow in and
couple
be there all
delays,
night.
Yeah.
2-2 on Lamb. Garza just over 80 pitches. Milwaukee bullpen still quiet. And he's gone full to the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 6th. Hard to first, fair ball. It's down the right field line. Jake Lamb, who's already got a triple, is in at second with a stand-up double.
Diamondbacks have had the leadoff man on in 5 of the 6 innings in the ball game. This time Jake Lamb goes out and scoops that ball right down the right field line past Jonathan Lucroy, his second extra base hit already in the ball game.
A chance for Yasmani Tomas, who doubled in the second. He's 1 for 2. D-backs have out hit Milwaukee 7-4, but they lead it just 1-0. Off the fist, a roller to Gomez at short. Away. They've done a pretty good job of tying up Yasmani Tomas inside in this series.
Seen him chase pitches inside, up and down, some of them up above shoulder high.
So here's Nick Ahmed now.
Yeah, I've said it before. It almost seems like at times Yasmani Tomas predetermines whether he's going to swing at a pitch or not. I'm going to swing at the first pitch and the third pitch of this at bat. I'm going to take the second one, the fourth, and then I'll go to work from there, because I don't know how else you can explain some of the pitches he swings at as opposed to some of the pitches he takes.
Some have been up around his neck. Nick's 0 for 2. Stuck in a 2 for 36 right now. Andrew Chafin looks like still throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. Oscar Hernandez is on deck. Pitcher spot. Hellickson will be up after that. 2-0. Oh, what you're talking about with the Yasmani Tomas goes back to something Nick Ahmed told us. We talked about this the other day, that Nick got this sort of swing thought from Gracie in spring training, and basically when you grade in at bat, did I swing at the strikes and did I take the balls? That's the way Nick likes to think up there. Maybe Yasmani could use a little bit of that,
especially recently. We've seen him very good when he has good strike zone judgment and good pitch recognition, but then he'll have stretches like we've seen recently where he's just kind of flailing away at everything. He still gets his base hits. I mean, he's a good hitter, and you know, even on a bad ball, he'll put the ball in play with authority from time to time. But once pitchers realize they don't have to get close to the zone to get him out, that's when they really start to expand. These are some recent at bats for Yasmani Tomas against the Marlins, chasing that slider low and away out of the zone. Tough pitch for a lot of hitters to catch up to, but these are the ones that really puzzle you. Shoulder high fastballs, up and out over the plate. Some right at him. There were a couple of pitches that he has swung at and fouled out of play that looked like they would have hit him had he taken the pitch.
3-1 to Ahmed. Ball 4. So 2 on, 1 out. Garza at 90 pitches. And the Brewer bullpen will jump into action there. Cox the left-hander. You got Oscar Hernandez coming up and Hellickson behind him. Lamb at second, Ahmed at first, 1 out. Oscar Hernandez 0 for 2. He struck out his last time up. Chris Owings out of the on-deck circle. He would hit for Hellickson. And you got to figure they have Kotz, the lefty, up for Inciarte in the leadoff spot.
Possibly that pitcher spot should David Peralta be the guy if they do hit for Jeremy Hellickson.
Yikes. Look out, Andy Green. Good thing Andy's short. Otherwise, Oscar 3 for 14 to start his big league career. There's Owings on deck. If you get the lefty up there, if you're Counsell, you do that because you want to avoid Peralta, knowing that Chip Hale will then counter with Owings, the right-hand bat.
I think that's absolutely what Craig Counsell is thinking. You know your own roster and their strengths and weaknesses. You know the matchups you want to get. You know the matchups you want to avoid.
You don't want Peralta up there with men on base if you're the Brewers.
I don't think so.
So you get the lefty up, and so Chip Hale sees that. Owens is on deck. They hit for Ellingson. And of course, you've got a lefty behind him and Ender Inciarte in the leadoff spot. Maybe we should call him the little unit, Ender Inciarte.
I think he'd probably like that.
One and two.
With David Peralta being a former pitcher and Ender Inciarte with the big arm that he has, we keep assuming that Cliff Pennington would probably be the emergency pitcher should the Diamondbacks find themselves in one of those blowout games, but I'm not so sure.
I'd kind of like to see Penny get out there and throw some of those knuckleballs.
Yeah, that would be fun.
He's always working on those. 1 and 2. They have tied up Oscar inside in this series, much like they have Tomas. And they found a hole in that swing.
Very similar to the pitch he swung and missed back in that 4th inning. That sinker down and in. Looks like a strike on the inside corner, but by the time he swings at it, it's underneath the bat, down and in.
Pitch hit for Jeremy Hellickson, number 16.
So they announce Owens as the hitter for Hellickson.
What a huge tip of the cap to Wellington Castillo. I was talking to Glenn Sherlock about it this morning. Playing through that bad hamstring. There's Wellington. First at bat of the ball game yesterday, got drilled on his left elbow and stayed in the game and did an outstanding job behind the plate under some tough physical circumstances. I mean, Sherrill said you could see seam marks. You could almost see the signature of the commissioner on his elbow. It immediately started to swell up.
Yeah, he went down. It looked like it hurt a lot. Owens 229, 3 home runs, 2 on, 2 out. This was Wellington Castillo getting hit on the left elbow last night for Taylor Youngman. He went down in a heap. Already with that bad hamstring. Chris Owens, a pair of hits in this series. He had a triple Friday. But Chris is another guy up there who has struggled to make consistent contact lately. Base hit over the glove of Perez. Here comes Lamb. They're going to wave on it home as well. And they'll both score. Chris Owens. 3-0 Diamondbacks. CO driving the bus. How about that for a big 2-out hit?
Wave threw a slider on the first delivery from Matt Garza. He tried to go back to it again, and this time Chris Owens was all over and over Perez's head down into the left field corner. D-backs flying all around the bases. Nick Ahmed scores all the way from first.
That's going to be it for Matt Garza. Diamondbacks lead it 3-0. Garza's gone. Back after this. brought to you in part by Oregano's Pizza Bistro, your neighborhood pizza joint. We are athletic supporters. By Card Power from Arizona Federal Credit Union. Now that's the power of us. And by Hayward Pool Products. For crystal clear pool water, choose the world's best-selling salt fluoridation system, Aquaray. Oh, Mike and Sharon's Cactus Corn. That is a must-have item here at Chase Field. That's some of the best food you can get here. The lefty Neil Kotz, a Texas Ranger last year. On for the 40th time as a Brewer this year. Ender Inciarte up there with Owings at second. 2 runs in and 2 outs. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks after CO's 2-run, 2-out pinch hit double. And here's Ender, who's already 2 for 3. And Mike and Sharon's. Oh, I get some of that to take home sometimes.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, it's great.
But I have to eat it all that night because if I leave any of it at home, it just disappears before I get back home.
Interesting, Joan. Honey, there was a bag of this when I left for the ballpark.
Honey, have you seen my cactus corn?
Of course, you could eat it in the car while you're listening to Jeff Munn and Leo and I on Snake Talk.
Every night. I'm telling you, that's all part of my routine. That's kind of how I wind down at the end of the day.
You and at least 3 other people. Got the Diamondback Live post-game show on Fox Sports Arizona. By the time that ends, Snake Talk comes on the radio. So it's just we're multimedia here. There goes Owings. Maldonado's throw, not in time. CO's in there. The head first, Pete Rose slide into third.
Scott's very deliberate, very slow with his delivery to home plate, and even with the left-handed batter giving Maldonado a clear shot at third base, CO is able to steal this one on his belly.
Stolen base for Chris Owings. That's his 13th of the year. 3-1 on Inciarte. Bounce to first. Lucroy's on it. And that's the inning. But Chris Owings comes up with a big 2-out hit. A pinch hit, 2-run double. Down to left field line. And it's 3-0 Diamondbacks as we go to the 7th at Chase. Ellickson outstanding here for the Diamondbacks this afternoon. 6 scoreless innings. He gave up only 4 hits. He had 6 strikeouts and pitched out of trouble, Bob. He did have 3 walks. They had base runners around him all afternoon, it seemed, but he made the big pitch every time.
You know, you think back to the beginning of the season when Jeremy was nibbling so badly, and we kept saying, you know, that this is his MO. That's how he goes about getting big league hitters out, but his command wasn't quite as fine early in the season as it has been over his last 5 starts.
94 pitches, 59 strikes. Your Gila River game summary. Hellickson has kept the Brewers scoreless. RBI hits from Jake Lamb and Chris Owings. Now Andrew Chafin, the left-handers out there. To open up the 7th inning, Shane Peterson will hit for Kotz. So the pitcher spot leads off the inning for the Brewers. Matt Garza's day is over. Peterson at 300 on the year with 6 RBIs. He's been a good pinch hitter. Off their bench, 6 for 14. But he is hitless in the series. One and two. There's the strikeout. Andrew Chafin opens up with a K. One away. Well, as promised earlier in the ball game, let's see how Jeff Munn did. Day 2 as a member of the Friendly Committee. It's our AZ Data Strong fan photo from T-Mobile. They got some snacks in there.
Snacks are always good. Goldschmidt happens. We know that.
Nice job there, Jesse and Jeff Munn. That's our AZ Data Strong fan photo with the game, brought to you by T-Mobile. Pretty solid opening for Money here. His first weekend on the committee.
I wouldn't call them grand slams, but good solid at bats. Put the ball in play.
Parra pops up the bunt. Chafin's got it 2 down.
Just kind of easing into it. I got a feeling he's got some real tricks up his sleeve there.
He's a trickster, that's for sure. Jonathan Lucroy now. Looking down into that Brewer bullpen. Corey Knebel, the right-hander. Looks like he'll get the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Hill, Goldie, and Pollock 2, 3, and 4 for the Diamondbacks. Lucroy singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Talking about the evolution of a pitching staff and how the Diamondbacks are trying to develop all these young pitchers. Zach Godley, we saw him, and what a debut that was. He'll pitch Tuesday night, by the way, at Seattle. His second big league start. We'll have that for you on Fox Sports Arizona. How about that? Aaron Hill, go get him! Behind Andrew Chafin. Some more D-back defense. All smiles. Aaron Hill at second base. And it's a 1-2-3-7 for Chafin. He's got it. 3-0 Diamondbacks. defensive play. Sure enough, he leads off the next inning. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Aaron Hill at second.
Well, we saw Coach Sean Payton upstairs teaching the little kids about the Diamondbacks' ready position, and as that ball's getting into the hitting area, you want to be in a position where your body's ready to move in any direction. Aaron Hill does a real nice job of that. Kind of a little hop, and when his feet come down on the ground, the timing is perfect just as the ball gets into the hitting area, and that time able to react quickly, keep that ball out of center field.
Good crowd here with us on a Sunday afternoon. The finale of this 10-game homestand. Diamondbacks trying to finish it off by taking 3 of 4 from Milwaukee. Rory Knebel, his 23rd appearance, a 3.20 ERA. It'll be Hill, Goldie, and Pollock 2, 3, and 4 in the Arizona 7th. D-backs have out-hit the Brewers 7-4 on Randy Johnson Induction Day at Cooperstown.
Playing the chicken dance here at the ballpark. I believe that is the Wisconsin State song. Well, that's Roll Out the Barrel.
That's a polka. They know their polkas up there at Cheesehead Country. Let's check our State Farm report of the ball game. Go down to the Mobile Bay Bears, and Randy Johnson mentioned Robbie Hammock in his speech today in Cooperstown. Robbie managing the Bay Bears. Zach Borenstein last night has reached base safely now 23 straight games. He was 1 for 4, and during that span he's hitting .345. Down there in Mobile.
And once again, congratulations to the Hillsboro Hops. Won the first half of the season, guaranteeing themselves a position in the playoffs once again.
A lot of talent. I saw Kane County lost last night.
That is a shock.
2 in a row. That makes them like 30-2 in the second half of the season. Zach Curtis, his first blown save for the Cougars. The promising young relievers in the Diamondback system. Who in fact was the minor league reliever of the year at the midway point. That's in all of baseball, not just the Diamondbacks. Zach Curtis, who pitched at Hillsboro last year. He's at Kane County this year. 0-2 on Aaron Hill. Aaron 0 for 3 today, 1 for 7 in the series. And Chip Hale said when the series started he would get Cliff Pennington a couple of starts and Aaron Hill a couple of starts in this 4-game set against the Brewers, and he did just that. Looks at that one, it's full 3-2. Goldie on deck. Down and lifts it out to Braun. I got a question for you. You just saw Knebel shake off Maldonado, and then Maldonado shook off the pitcher.
Occasionally what you'll see happen is in an obvious count, 2-0, 3-1, pretty good chance you're going to throw a fastball, or vice versa. You're way ahead in the count, 0-2, 1-2. The catcher shakes his head, indicating, I want you to shake your head.
It's like they're having a disagreement. Gomez is short. It's under the glove and into left. So base hit for Goldie. So that extends his hitting streak to 8 games.
Center fielder,
underneath the glove on into left field. Don't believe Gomez would have had a play anyway. He was way out in shallow left field when he tried to backhand that ball.
Brings up A.J. Pollock, the cleanup man. A single and a walk today. He scored a run. He's 1 for 2. Lucroy down there, the catcher, playing first base this afternoon. Is that a big deal? You did that.
Yeah, I played quite a bit of first base. It's It's okay. You know, it is a little bit of a physical rest for your legs and your lower back. Getting out from behind home plate for a day. But I'll tell you what, those people who think that, you know, you take a big lumbering guy and just stick him at first base. You don't have to do much down there. Let me tell you, I learned very quickly there's a lot to do down there. Mark Grace knows that as good as anybody. Between pickoff plays and bunt defenses and cutoffs and relays and where am I supposed to be if there's a runner at first and the ball's hitting the gap, what do I do? It took a while until things happened naturally without thinking about it. I'm sure Lucroy probably feels the same.
Now, I thought the hardest part of that was just rolling the balls to the infielders during the between innings.
No, that's really easy. Although
you mean there's more than that? I thought that was it.
I used to have some fun with that. You know, I try to throw them so I give them bad bounces. You know, that last hop right at their feet. You know, all they want to do is get a nice one hopper belt high so they can catch the ball and keep their arm loose throwing across to first base. But I used to make them work a little bit.
Well, that's just being a good teammate. 3-0 on AJ. Jonathan Lucroy, one of the best catchers in the business.
One thing in common behind the plate and at first base defensively is you got a lot of people to talk to. First base ump, the first base coach, the base runners that happen to come down there.
Well, with a catcher, you're talking all the time, aren't you?
Most of the time, yeah. You know, some guys, Ryan Sandberg, you know, he would always come up and be very cordial first at bat of the ball game. How you doing? Good to see you. Good luck. Stay healthy. And then he wouldn't say another word the rest of the series. Very serious about his at bats, but you know, very gracious about greeting you in the first game, first at bat. Other guys never shut up.
3-1 pitch. There goes Goldie. Maldonado can't corral it. It's ball 4 to Pollock. And the Diamondbacks have 2 on and 1 out for Jake Lamb. And Jake's had a big day. The Diamondbacks baseball presented by Sanderson Ford. They'll figure out how they want to pitch to Lamb here. He so far has got a triple and a double.
I was just about to say, your old buddy John Kruk would come up to the plate and just start talking.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
You know, last time up, you threw me that curveball. I probably should have hit that when it was just hanging there. And I mean, the pitcher's in the windup, and he's still talking to me. And eventually, Eddie Montague, a longtime umpire, working behind me one day, finally said, "Hey, Crucky, I'm not listening to you anymore." And I said, "Yeah, me neither." And he still kept talking. I don't know. He must have just been talking to himself.
Yeah, that won't stop him. That's why he's so good on TV. Of course, Crocky, you do a late show, you might go on the air at midnight, 1 in the morning. Good chance he was up at 6 on the golf course, so you know he's asleep by 9.
Boy, he could hit.
Game used equipment for sale here in the ballpark. Jerseys, bats, balls, caps, even dirt. They got some cool stuff in there. That's all authenticated by the Diamondbacks in Major League Baseball. Game-worn jerseys.
Placards that go above the lockers in the clubhouse.
1-1 on Lamb.
If I'd have known you could make money from broken bats, I could have retired by now.
Check the garage.
Wow.
1-2. Jake, an RBI triple in the 4th. He doubled and scored in the 6th. Goldie at second, Pollock at first. 1 out. Let's check, see if there's a Brenly model in there. Got the pine tar on them, everything.
Careful picking up some of those bats between the splinters and the pine tar.
We went to Miami.
Dangerous.
When we went to Miami in May, we were down on the field, and Martin Prado came up, big hello, shakes my hand. Hey, how you doing? I stuck to everything for the rest of the day. Covered in pine tar from shaking his hand. I mean, it just gets everywhere. 2-2 pitch. It's full. Knebel so far 10 balls, 7 strikes. 3-2 on Lamb. Runners hold. Check swing foul. After the ball game, it's on the road again, and this is a whopper. A road trip coming up for the Diamondbacks. 3 in Seattle, 3 in Houston, 4 in Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. We'll see Matt Williams there.
Zigzag our way across the country. 1,100 miles from here to Seattle tonight. Then from Seattle to Houston, 1,800 miles. Another 1,200 miles from Houston to the nation's capital, and then nearly 2,000 miles back from D.C. A total over 6,200 miles traveled.
Call, strike 3. Close pitch. Mark Ripperger rings up Lamb.
Right fielder, Yasmani Tomas.
That Johnny Cash song. I've been to which boy? I've been everywhere, man. Yasmani Tomas. Tomas doubled in the second. He's 1 for 3. Now we've watched, we talked about this last time up. They've been jamming him inside, up and down, everything in on the hands. And he's been swinging.
You got a home plate umpire that's called a lot of pitches on the inside part of the plate to both righties and lefties, so this could possibly be the perfect storm here.
Drop that little baby slider in there to steal a strike, and it's 0-1. Just missed us.
That's a no play right there. That one came to eat.
0-2.
Woo.
Close.
I mean, if we could possibly get a line drive up here in the booth, that was it. Fouled straight back just over the backstop and just below our perch.
Funny thing about those is, as soon as it hits the bat, you know it's coming. For whatever reason, you can just tell. Went down and got that one. Drives it toward the right field corner, but foul. Runners off of the pitch there. Like Maldonado wanted it up and in.
Pitchers make mistakes. I mean, getting back to what we talked about earlier in the ball game with Nick Ahmed talking to Mark Grace about focusing on hitting strikes. Guys are going to make mistakes. That pitch was intended to be up and in, down and away.
Got it up and out over the plate. Foul ground first base side. Lucroy runs out of room.
Once again, they want that fastball up. He gets it up a little bit higher, about belt high that time out over the plate.
Trying to elevate on Yasmani Tomas.
We talk all the time about the advance report. You know, there's scouts here at every game charting every pitch, every swing, every defensive alignment to try to give their team the best possible advantage. And occasionally you can get out in front of your advance report. I mean, what we've seen in this series, what we've seen in this homestand from Yasmani Tomas, chasing a lot of high fastballs, chasing a lot of breaking balls off the plate low and away. Well, if you know that's been your kryptonite over the last week and a half or so, you got to figure that the Seattle Mariners and the Houston Astros scouts are putting that on their report. So either lay off that pitch or do something to get to it.
You can see that pitch was right there, up and in. And he swung on 0-2. Dropped it in there and rings him up. Frozen, second strikeout in the inning. And the Diamondbacks strand 2. We go to the 8th. They lead the Brewers 3-0.
I thought I would be on this stage, baseball's greatest fraternity, and it's humbling to look behind me and see the best who have ever played this game. I had the honor of playing against many of these gentlemen. Some I've watched on TV. But it would have been really fun to face you, Reggie.
Reginald Martinez Jackson. A little shot at Reggie there. Huh? Having some fun.
I'll take the unit against Reggie in their prime.
Yeah. Randy Johnson, induction day at Cooperstown. Don't forget August 8th here. That's when that 51 goes up in the rafters. dbacks.com/tickets, a pregame ceremony. So make sure you're here, fans, for that one. That's going to be a very, very special day. That's a I was there day. As the 51 will go up alongside Gonzo's 20 and Jackie Robinson's 42 here at Chase Field. David Hernandez on for the Diamondbacks to work the 8th inning, his 14th appearance. Ryan Braun, Chris Davis, and Scooter Gennett scheduled up 3, 4, and 5 in the Brewer 8th. Braun is singled and walks. With this one around. High fly ball, right field corner. Tomas in his room. 1 pitch, 1 out. And when you come to that ball game, fans, don't forget, D-backs are retiring number 51 Saturday, August 8th. You'll get the commemorative T-shirt courtesy of Fry's Food Stores. So that's all the more reason to get your tickets right now. dbacks.com and join us here on August 8th as number 51 is retired at Chase Field. One away, here's Chris Davis, who is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Chris really did have a breakthrough season last year with Milwaukee. Played over 140 games, had 22 home runs, 69 RBIs. He hit 37 doubles. And was in the top 10 in the National League in extra base hits. He was a big bat for the Brewers last year, but he's had some injuries this year. And he's just not been able to get going. Of course, Parr has been on an absolute tear, so that's taken a lot of his playing time away. Gomez and Braun out there. It's a pretty good outfield for Milwaukee. Injured his knee against the Diamondbacks, actually, May 30th at Miller Park, a torn meniscus, and missed 35 games. And he just came back from that knee injury earlier this month. Two and two.
Chris Davis, he's just glad it's anybody other than Jeremy Hellickson on the mound right now. He was totally baffled by that straight changeup.
He's got a good one. In Chris's defense, it's a pretty good changeup.
It makes a lot of hitters look silly with that changeup.
Jeremy was terrific. 6 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts. Well, golden sombrero for Chris Davis tonight. 2 down in the 8th. 0 for 4, 4 punches.
Knocked the ball right out of Oscar Hernandez's glove on his backswing there. That does not count as a drop third strike. Plate umpire Mark Rippiger recording the out.
Brings up Scooter Gennett, who is indeed named after a Muppets character. That's just his nickname, but when he was a kid, it was the only name he would answer to. He just loved to watch the Muppet Show, so he was Scooter.
Seems appropriate for him. He's one of those high energy guys bouncing around the clubhouse.
Yeah, just a prototypical scrappy little second baseman type guy. Scooter fits. Of course, on the Muppet Show, they had a character named the Great Gonzo. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. Now that you mention it,
he would always they'd shoot him out of a cannon and stuff. So Gonzo is also a Muppet name.
Well, there were those who had a name for Randy Johnson. They'd never call him this to his face, but he was Big Bird.
Well, there was originally the Bird. That was Mark Fidrich,
yeah,
the great Tiger pitcher from Massachusetts. But Randy, yeah, he's, of course, Mark Fidrich was on the Sports Illustrated cover with Big Bird.
Big Bird, yeah.
But Randy, I mean, 6'10", now that's a big bird. And of course, Bird's Randy Johnson.
Not a good mix.
Yeah. That thing was just vaporized, man. Just poof.
It's really, for me personally, kind of embarrassing because, as you know, I like to go hunt dove in season, and with a 12-gauge shotgun, I can't kill a dove as easily as Randy did with one baseball.
They look nervous. This was tremendous back in the Seattle days.
Ooh.
Oh! That is a tremendous bit. Look. Back at old Rangers ballpark in Arlington. 2-2 to Gennett. And David Hernandez, 2 strikeouts, works a 1-2-3-8. Diamondbacks lead it 3-0.
CenturyLink. Our post-game show, a lot to talk about. Pitching has certainly been the theme in this series. Diamondbacks hopefully will be talking about a series win after the game. Also big hits from Jake Lamb and Chris Owens. But we have a one-on-one from Cooperstown. Todd Walsh able to spend a few minutes with Randy Johnson. We will have that entire interview for you on the post-game show. And guys, I imagine that by the time Randy got over to Todd, maybe you could take a deep breath, a little more relaxed. And so it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. The newest Hall of Famer and, of course, the first Diamondback to enter the Hall. Guys.
Well, I'm sure everyone was relaxed after Pedro's speech because Pedro was the closer today. And by all accounts, we didn't get to hear it. Looking forward to watching it at MLB.com. He was tremendously entertaining. Fill thine horn with oil and go forth. It's David Goforth from the Brewer bullpen. He'll work the bottom of the gate. 3-0 Diamondbacks. Nick Ahmed leads it off. Paradise Valley Burger Company here at the ballpark. Those are really good. At the flagship location on East Bell Road in Phoenix. Those aren't just your regular burgers like, you know, brown paper bag kind of a thing. Those are gourmet burgers, BB.
Big league
Specially
burgers.
designed. I mean, that's just not your run-of-the-mill burger.
I'll tell you what else is not run-of-the-mill. The last time through the Diamondbacks rotation, you go back to Zach Godley's start, 6 innings. He gave up 4 hits, no runs.
Yeah.
Patrick Corbin follows with 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run.
How about, I think I see Glenn Close in the stands.
8 innings for Ruby De La Rosa, 4 hits, no runs. And Jeremy Hellickson today, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs.
It's a relay race.
I love it.
Some rotation momentum.
1 earned run in 27 innings in this series for the starting rotation. Outstanding work.
Our Arizona Federal Credit Union Power Players of the Game, the Diamondback starters in this series, just outstanding. And it's Robbie Ray's turn to finish it off. 1 turn through the rotation tomorrow night. He'll pitch against Mike Montgomery. First of 3 against the Mariners at Safeco Field, Seattle. 6:30 Diamondback Live pregame show. There's Zach Godley. He'll start Tuesday against Sashi Iwakuma. And then Wednesday, Patrick Corbin and King Felix. Two. Here we go. Guard that camera. All right. That's right above us. There we are. There's Dennis Lamb. Where's Dennis? Oh, he's downstairs.
Fell out of the booth trying to catch that foul ball.
Or trying to chase his ice cream again. 2-2 pitch one more time. I heard there was speaking of the Mariners, they're 5-5 in extras right now at Safeco Field against the Blue Jays. That's Seattle in that ball game. Turned to triple play and Mark Trumbo was involved.
Yeah. Kind of one of those unusual double plays. A ground ball to the first baseman holding a runner on. He stepped on the bag immediately, and then a couple of rundowns ensued. Guys fell off bases, and all kinds of crazy things happened.
So get a look at Mark Trumbo in the Mariners colors starting tomorrow. Go downstairs to Kate.
Well, guys, we've been talking about how the starters have had a great week. Well, Ruby De La Rosa, great day yesterday, and today very special to him and his country as his personal friend, Pedro Martinez, became just the 2nd player from the Dominican Republic to have a plaque at Cooperstown. And Ruby, with personal and professional ties to the great pitcher, his grandma was Pedro's nanny growing up. And since Ruby was a child, he's formed a great bond with Pedro, seeking advice from him. He credits a lot of his deception and his changeup to him. Ruby talks to Pedro daily, even yesterday when he was in Cooperstown. They were on the phone a couple times talking about Ruby's start. and, of course, Pedro's outfit, Ruby told me. He said he told me he feels like a king out there, and he's dressing like a king. He said that Pedro said it's been a little bit emotional, but he's just loving the ride out in Cooperstown.
Oscar Hernandez is having some issues up there. He's down 0-2, waving in a couple of pitches.
Well, Pedro may have felt like a king, but he looked like one of the spinners.
It looked like he was sponsored. He had like a NASCAR driver. He had a blue jacket on, Pedro. It was a kind of a nice touch. He had a U.S. patch sewn into the shoulder on one side and a Dominican flag patch sewed onto the other shoulder. And it was a big day for the Dominican Republic. Their player, one of their absolute idols, enshrined, and a lot of Dominican flags in the stands out there at Cooperstown among the seats. Used to be that way in Fenway Park when Pedro started. Outfield bleachers is full of Dominican flags, chanting and singing. You'd get one of those Red Sox Yankee games with Pedro, and Dominican fans would show up, and boy, it was just an event. Great atmosphere. Sanderson Ford bullpen. Brewers in the ninth will have Perez, Gomez, and Maldonado. 6, 7, and 8 due up. Brad Ziegler looks like he's ready in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Mark Reed, the bullpen catcher. 2-2 on Oscar Hernandez. Make of Oscar as a hitter so far? I mean, it's the smallest of sample sizes, and he's just turned 22 earlier this month, so there's a lot of progress to be made here.
There's some raw material there to work with. He needs some refining. His swing can get a little long at times. Occasionally that left arm, he kind of bars it, really gets it extended out behind his body and then drags that stiff left arm through the zone, which slows down your swing a little bit. But you know, when you consider this guy would probably be playing at Kane County or Visalia under normal circumstances, but you know, taking a little bit of a whipping here at the big league level.
That's the life of a Rule 5 pick. He has to be on the Major League roster for 90 days. Otherwise, the Diamondbacks have to return him to the Tampa Bay Rays, and they don't want to do that. So rather than learning at the low level of the minor leagues, he's here trying to figure it out in the big leagues, and that's got to be tough. Here's David Peralta. He'll hit for the pitcher. 2 on, nobody out. David, 269 and 9 homers. 1 for 7 in the series. Good article in the Sports Illustrated website recently talking about David Peralta's road to the big leagues as he traveled the baseball wilderness in the independent leagues. 22-hour bus rides, $500 a month. Playing for teams like the Rio Grande Valley White Wings and the Wichita Wingnuts. Just hoping to get a look, just a tryout even, with a club that had a major league affiliation. And the Diamondbacks kept a close eye on him, and here he is, a big change after signing initially as a pitcher with the Cardinals when he was 17. He said they told him, the Cardinals, hey, you're a lefty, you throw. He used to throw 90 miles an hour plus as a pitcher. Become a pitcher, you'll get to the big leagues quicker. So he said, okay. And he really had to reinvent himself.
I have to ask David, I wonder if his experience as a pitcher helps him as a hitter. You know, thinking like a pitcher out there on the mound, what would I throw to me in this situation? If you've done it before, if you've been out there on the mound and attacked opposing hitters and looked for weaknesses and tried to exploit them, I have to believe that helps you as a hitter when pitchers try to get you out.
You can check out that story by Ben Reeder at SI.com. Brad Ziegler ready for the ninth. Diamondbacks trying to take 3 of 4 in the series. That would get them to 46 and 51 within 5 of 500. And they pick up a game on the Dodgers, who lost in New York today 3-2. Giants beat the A's 4-3 at AT&T Park. Tim Hudson got the win. Rockies still beating up on the Reds. That game at Coors Field now 17-6 Colorado in the 8th inning.
It's really slowed down. It was 16-6 in the 5th. It's turned into a pitcher's duel.
That place, I tell you. I'm sure, up 17-6. Dinger's probably walking around. The short hop for Jeanette. Peralta hustle up the line and he beats it out. Right there, David Peralta. That's the first thing the Diamondbacks staff noticed about him in minor league camp. Kevin Towers turned around and said, does he always run the bases like that? And he was told he always runs the bases that hard. And that's a great example. David grimacing a bit there. Grabbed at his knee coming back toward the bag.
One hopper smothered by Jeanette, but you could see Lucroy had to get back to the bag, and while Jeanette was waiting for Lucroy to retreat to the base, David is just busting it down that first base line and beats it out.
You got a catcher playing first base, just Lucroy's 3rd start down there all year. And they scored a single for Peralta. And a hustle single at that. There's David coming back to the bag, grabbing at that. Looked like that right knee a bit.
Occasionally on a close play like that, when you know it's going to be a close play, and certainly David did, it was right in front of him. He's grabbing the back of his right knee there. You really extend for that bag with that last stride. Sometimes it puts your body, especially your legs, in a bad position when you try to reach out for that base.
Of course, Tuffy injured his knee just like that in St. Louis. And surgery done for the year. ACL. Ender Inciarte 2 for 4.
That foul ball might have got a piece of Martin Maldonado behind the plate. He immediately came out of the chute looking at his left elbow.
Milwaukee Brewers, some Brewer fans back there. See some blue and yellow scattered throughout the ballpark a little bit.
Can't miss the cheese head.
There it is. That really is a signature item. I mean, there's no misunderstanding where that guy's from. All over the world. Of course, you have some Brewer fans here. They train in Maryville. Fly ball to Davis and left. Backing up, still backing up, and he's got that one. What a bit of an adventure out there for Chris Davis. Brewers fans in the house. Diamondbacks trying to take 3 of 4. We go to the 9th inning. They lead it 3-0.
the recognition that they so rightly deserve.
That was the Cox Kick Alive high-speed highlights. Hello from Chase Field. D-backs lead at 3-0 ninth inning. And on for the third straight ball game, it's the closer, Brad Ziegler. Brad on Friday here threw 12 pitches, 18 pitches last night, some high leverage ones at that. They had the bases loaded on him in the ninth inning. And he's on to try and nail this one down. Hernan Perez, the third baseman, leads it off. 0-2.
Fans will remember Brad Ziegler had that 40-pitch inning and 2/3 save against the Marlins, and then had 3 days off in a row before the back-to-back outings the last 2 nights.
Yeah, the 40 pitches was 6 days ago, so it's been a busy week.
Two more outs to go to complete the shutout here today, and if they're able to do that, be back-to-back shutouts for the first time since 2011, June 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, the Brewers last night 2-0 losers. Ruby De La Rosa was sensational. They only had 6 hits in that ball game. They've had just 4 hits here this afternoon. Hector Gomez 0 for 3. One and two.
Good changeup from Brad Ziegler that time. A late movement, way off speed from his fastball.
Big day for D-backs everywhere. Randy Johnson in the Hall of Fame. Diamondbacks trying to close out a series win against the Brewers, and there's the strikeout there and out away.
Gomez saw everything Brad Ziegler had to offer that time. Finishes him off with that flat slider.
Martin Maldonado with 2 outs in the 9th. Pitcher spot would be next. Here comes Carlos Gomez from the Milwaukee dugout. He would hit for go for it. Maldonado 0 for 2. Well, it started out with a sweep at the hands of the Giants. Lost 2 of 3 to the Marlins, but 3 of 4 here against the Brewers, who been playing really good baseball over the last month coming into this series. There's a nice consolation prize here for the Diamondbacks to get back within 5 of 500 as they head out on a long road trip. Seattle, Houston, and Washington, D.C. after this one. Two and 0. 3 balls and no strikes. Now he's going to have to make some pitches here because Gomez will take the at-bat. You've got Parra, Lucroy, and Braun behind him. And, of course, Brad got 2 quick outs here last night and then had to strike out Parra to escape a bases-loaded mess to close out the ball game and get his 16th save. So here's Carlos Gomez. 267 and 8 home runs. 2 for 10 with a double in the series. He has struck out 3 times. 0-1.
Carlos Gomez was one of the 2 quick outs that Brad Ziegler got in the ball game last night. Gomez led off top half of the 9th inning and fly it out to left field.
Brad's ahead 0-2. Diamondback Live postgame show follows our ball game. They're on their feet here at Chase. More than 24,000 on a Sunday afternoon. Diamondbacks trying to take 3 of 4. Drives it toward the left field corner, but foul.
Slider caught a little too much plate that time. Oscar was set up off the outside corner. That pitch was on the inner third of the plate. Fortunately, Gomez so quick with his swing, he just pulled it foul down that third baseline.
Diamondbacks take 3 games in a 4-game series. They win this one 3-0. And they shut out the Brewers for the 2nd game in a row. And the Diamondbacks now 46-51 on the year as they head out to Seattle, Houston, and D.C.
Boy, what a string of starting pitching in this series as Brad Ziegler closes it out with a strikeout of Carlos Gomez. 1 earned run allowed in the 4 games here against the Brewers by the starting staff.
Zach Godley started it off with his spectacular Major League debut. Patrick Corbin, outstanding 10 strikeouts in the loss on Friday. But then De La Rosa yesterday, Hellickson here today. 3-0 to close it out as the Diamondbacks take 3 of 4 from the Brewers. Let's start Diamondbacks Live. Jody Jackson's on the air. Jody.
Thanks a lot, Steve. That's right. The pitching, again, excellent for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Back-to-back shutouts. First time they've been able to do that since 2011 in defeating the Brewers by the score of 3-0. Plenty coming up on the post-game show. Kate Longworth is at field level. She'll have a reaction to this one, both on the field and inside the clubhouse. We'll hear from Chip Hale. Bob Brenly will join us, and Todd Walsh in Cooperstown with an exclusive one-on-one with the Hall of Famer Randy Johnson. A great Sunday all around here for the Arizona Diamondbacks as they take 3 of 4 from the Brewers. Today's final 3-0. The pitching excellent all throughout the series. We will break it down coming up on Diamondbacks Live, presented by CenturyLink, and is coming your way next.